doing? Are we good?
Good evening, all, and welcome to the Tactical Devils. I'm your host, Jarvis Cocker, and we have a jam-packed show for you guys tonight, so stay tuned. We have, as usual, my co-host, Stu Wally, and special guests are Mick Ruby from MUFC Realist TV and Mr. Structure Noradin from United Real Therapy. Give them an applause. Everybody, big up, and to the devilish tacticals in the chat room. I see people coming in already. Lowly Lola coming in and say big up to everyone. We have also Neil Driscoll coming in and say evening, Jarvis and Stu and everybody else. Yes. Yeah. And here's Jarvis again and say evening all. We go live in 2 minutes. 5 minutes ago. Sorry about that. You know me. I'm hopeless. Hopeless. And Yale Malmin comes in with some transfer news in the beginning. It says transfer news live is very broad source of information. If you can find, at least it's coming from Fichates. Okay, Jesus Christ.
It's a Spanish outlet.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, we are not looking to sack Rúben Amorim. I can't imagine we will do something like that. And I don't think we have the money anyhow. So let's not go into that. We have Faith here. Big up, Faith. Good to see you. Stephanie Griffith. The big up Jarvis, Stu, Nuradin, Mick, plus Devilish Tacticos. Yes, big up, Stephanie. And Bootinator coming in with a thumbs up and 13 likes. 25 people watching already. So guys, keep smashing the like, subscribe if you haven't, and share on all social platforms. Yes, guys, we are ready. I think we have to start the show by talking about the game yesterday. It was a dreadful game. We lost against Spurs 1-0. Goal from Maddison. I think we looked toothless. We had a couple of chances. Maybe we should have scored a goal, but again, we lacked the clinicality up front. But, you know, losing or winning, what Noradin sometimes say, it's not about losing or winning, it's the way we do it. And I want to go to Noradin first and hear your take on the game yesterday. How did you see the game? And did you see any positives, or was it just poor?
I personally think Amorim bottled it. He bottled to start one of the youngsters. Manchester United is built on young players. The history of our club, the Busby Babes, the greatest team of young players ever assembled. And he says it on the thing, innit? I'm sure I always forget the other words: youth, courage, certain things it says about Manchester United. Like, it's a historic saying, and I forgot what the rest of it was. Stu might remember, but you get it sometimes. It used to be outside the old cliff. Yeah, bravery, courage, stuff, something like that was there. So he bottled it, and then we sit there 40 minutes ago, he should have changed it. I'm sure some of the youngsters would have done even more. I think young people can surprise you. They can, bring something different. Nobody knows about the way they play, and nobody knows how they are, and the game plan kind of goes out the window. They've got that surprise element, and they take their chances. I'll never forget when the injuries came. Angie Postecoglou, I can never say his name properly. He started all the youngsters. Yeah, Postecoglou. He started all the youngsters. In our own club, Van Gaal was faced with injuries. He played all the youngsters, and we actually did all right. So the idea for me yesterday, I was really disappointed that some of the youngsters didn't get on the football pitch, especially the way the game went. And I think the game was asking for something to be changed, because the ones who were on the pitch, we could be playing for another 3 days, they weren't going to score. So we needed a change. But in terms of the first half, it was dreadful. Absolutely dreadful first half.
Yes.
I've got no hair left. Manchester United have done that to me. and I was pulling it out, whatever was left, but there's nothing there. But I was pulling out imaginary hairs on my head. You know, the hair that I was imagining that was there. That just shows you the level of delusion. The Manchester United delusion spreads to the fans, and specifically me yesterday. So, the second half I thought we created chances, but then we were no to take them, but we could have. And I was looking at that, I was like, shit, if you had Ahmad fit yesterday, you would have took one of those chances because the amount of space that was afforded, how open first play, and this is the first team, and they beat us 3 times this season. Like, I just can't take that. This is a horrendous first team. You know, they had lots of players coming back from injury, but they're horrendous, and and I thought tactically, there's things we could have done. We could have shouted and screamed at one of the centre halves when Casemiro's getting isolated because Bruno has to come out to get Spence, who's inverting for Spurs. That means then Maddison was getting more space because they were tripling sometimes 3 or 4 in midfield when the left fullback is inverting and the right fullback is inverting. You've got more. But the space would have been to attack that space where Spence was. You had Ahmad in the game. But, at times I was thinking the 3 centre-halves were just standing there at the back by themselves when it's only Kel. It's not like 2 strikers up there. They're playing against 2 strikers. And at times I'm thinking, I can see it. Like when Casemiro's isolated, one of them should jump to help him in the midfield because he's isolated in a space of 30 to 40 yards. He's having to run either left or right to recover. And we know Bruno is not really good on the, he's not really great on the duels. He gets beaten way too easy. He presses in a way that's so easy to bypass because his press is very direct, other than angling his body. We know about all this. This is basic stuff that we already know. And I was quite shocked, surprised, because Amorim was asked that question yesterday, and he was like, Bruno's one of our best pressers. I'm like, on what planet? He doesn't even know how to fucking angle his body. Somebody who presses you in shorter spaces. They don't run to you in very square on 100 miles an hour. They don't run. That's not how you press. You press on the angle. You're also cutting out the passing lane, but you also can then quickly, over 5-10 yards, quickly get onto somebody. And you go in there with your feet and your body shape slightly different than being square, because all that somebody has to do in football is come inside and boom, you're out of the game. And we saw that. That times he was isolated in the game. So in terms of the game, obviously Garnacho had the chance to bury it, but at the end of the day, we're relying on a developmental plan. And is he getting that developmental plan? Because to me, when I look at that chance again, it was harder to do what he did. That was the hardest thing he could do, is balloon it over when you've got that much of the goal to aim. Or he could have toe poked it. He could have laced it and it would have gone into the either corner. On the time, he's back to a couple of games. He was really good at cutting the ball back. Now he's back to, I want to be the main guy. You know what I mean? And I want to be the hero. So it's like nobody has coached that, those bad kind of habits.
But Norin, it made me think when it comes to Garnacho. Do you think it's just poor technique in his finishing, or does he lack composure when it comes to situations like this? Because he's been missing a lot of chances this season.
So I think Bruno. It's more confidence.
Yeah, him and Bruno are the top. I think they're in the top 5 of players who've missed the most biggest chances. Bruno and Garnacho are in that. In the top 5 in the Premier League of the people who just missed the big chances. So at the end of the day, they're just, for me, I think he likes to whip them, with technique and all that. And I'm like, forget that. We need the fucking goal. Get your knee over the ball, head, bam, lace that. Lace the hardest you can, or if you're going to, just tap it into that corner. The goal was there, gaping for you. So from that, especially that far out. So the idea of him, ballooning it over. But to be fair, Manchester United should create more chances. That's what I'm saying to you. We all go, he's got to score. But we forget, majority of strikers or majority of forwards you have to do it at least 4 or 5 big chances. They score 1. That's what the ratio is, unless you're a freak like Ronaldo or Messi. That's what it's always been. You know, you have to make at least 4 or 5 chances to get 1 goal. Do you know what I mean? Like, you need to at least, that's what happens. So, at the end of the day, I look at it and I just think there was a poor Spurs team, loads of space to play, but I thought Amorim was bottled it. I'm not going to lie to you. Because Manchester United is built on giving youngsters an opportunity. And yesterday, even if we would have lost, we would have seen something. It would have been something for us, all of us, to analyse. Ooh, this youngster did this. Ooh, this youngster might have to learn this. We could have talked about it. We could have been a bit exciting. And you also get the benefit of the doubt when you play the youngsters. Do you know what I mean? You get the benefit of... But this, you cannot, for me, you have to. And then to bring Obi Martin on 3 minutes, I'm like, you're taking the fucking piss. But...
Yeah.
I don't blame Amorim for everything. I do not. Amorim was bought in by these vultures who directly are the Glazers. Glazers and Ineos are one, right? And I said that a long time ago. I don't separate them. They bought this guy in. We knew more about the players that we have. We knew more about the type of season we were having under Erik ten Hag and what needed to be done. And he's come in and he's admitted it. He said this is a lot harder than he thought. So a lot of people now, all these pundits are saying he should do this, he should do that. I'm like, wake the fuck up. I was telling Saeed earlier on today, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer tried to get us playing high pressing, intense football. I saw it. I was there with my own eyes against Liverpool. 4 players got injured in the space of 25 minutes. Never had that happen in the history of Manchester United. I don't know if you guys remember. Oh, Muscular. Remember when they all pulled up? Ranić said, I'm going to get this time pressing. They did it for 45 minutes. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer thought, okay, I'm going to have to play. I can't play this transition football anymore. We need next stage now. And he kept getting smashed everywhere he went. So, Amorim's been brought in to change, and Ten Hag won't do it. Ten Hag refused to do it. And the only difference between this season and Ten Hag's season was that last season, we were doing a fucking bank robbery, stick-up jobs on teams where we were playing horrendous, but somehow we got the winner and robbed them of the 3 points. That's the only difference between that and last season. Now, teams in the Premier League have said, no, you're not robbing Man United. You're not robbing us. No more robbing.
Do you know, isn't it a little bit of coincidence? Like, you know, when all of a sudden you have time to ramp it up in the training, you get all these injuries. Like, you know, when you're trying to apply the intensity, you get like, you know, 3 players, 4 players out all of a sudden, you know, as soon as you increase the volume. But he's been doing great, like, you know, rotating, avoiding those injuries. But soon, finally, we get some minutes on the training pitch and boom. You know, I covered the presser and he wouldn't say who, like, you know, but we certainly find out it's Ahmad, Kobe, Collier, Ugarte. And it's going like, oh my God.
Mick, don't forget, we called Ahmad Thursday night. We called it. We did. I said to you, I asked you, didn't I? I said to you, I'm pretty sure Biggsy mentioned it.
Biggsy mentioned it,
didn't we? But I'm sure he didn't. We called it Thursday night and then it all went quiet. There's a couple of things I just want to pick up on. First and foremost, the Garnacho thing. Top strikers will tell you, and I'm not a striker, by the way, and everyone knows I'm not a striker, but top strikers will tell you they've got 2 areas of the goal they aim for, on the right-hand side and the left-hand side, and that's it. That's what they punish. That's what they practice week in, week out, day in, day out, hour, or should be hour in, hour out. If you pick that spot, whatever that spot is in the goal, you know it's where the goalkeeper isn't going to be, you will always score, or 9 out of 10 times you'll hit the target. Garnacho doesn't train enough in front of goal. He panics. You could see it in his eyes when the ball comes to him. His first touch wasn't brilliant. He should have got it out of his foot, 1 inch, 2 inches away, bang. There's no reason to stick your laces on, and I would have gone far right as we look. I would have aimed for the post, far right as we look, so we nestled just inside the post. Who'd have buried it 10 times out of 10? 10 out of 10 times he's done that. If he practices that. But they don't practice it, Mick.
No, but he should have, as you said, laces, the wrist laces, but he went with the broad side, like, and leaned backwards, you know? And that's why I said 9 out of 10, he would have buried that goal. But it's also coming down to, I think it's also confidence, like, you know, you lacking the confidence. You know, you had numerous opportunity. Garnacho, even Rasmus Højlund hasn't scored since, mid-December, you know. And they're
yeah.
desperate to get on the score sheet, 100%, right? But for me, like, when I looked at the game in isolation, I mean, this has been a typical pattern where we are kind of first half, we have a very slow start. Like, we kind of, there was a moment when I saw a flat 8 in defense. Like, this is the first time I counted flat 8 in defending.
Yeah, we did that, didn't we, last night?
Yeah. And the thing is, when Bruno has a great game, the whole team has a crap game. And I was thinking, what's going on here? Because for me, it looked like Bruno was bubble wrapping, shielding, Casemiro, because they figured out that Casemiro is the weakest link. So they were attacking Casemiro all the time in the first half. So one thing what we saw in the second half is that Rúben Amorim recognized that situation. So they switched position, with Bruno and Casemiro. And all of a sudden, we looked like the better team and started creating going forward with more confidence. So it's not that we didn't create chances in the second half. We did, It's that there were the frailties. They were like, 1-0 up and they were getting nervous. Of course, after 75 minutes, the team was flabbergasted. Like, they needed to do a substitution. And you look at the bench, you have Victor Lindelof. There's twice of the age of the teenagers sitting there. But as what Nuruddin said, like, most of the United fans were hopefully, like, the season is gone. We were just like, want to see something different. Like, what could have they done differently? Like application, intensity. Because you give them a chance, they will prove to the gaffer, look, you put me on the field, I will give it all, right? And going back to another season, last season, I think it was Jurgen Klopp in Liverpool, he was forced to play kids. And they did all right? They did all right. They adapted.
Yes.
So, but I think it's also like there was a moment where the camera panned in and he was looking down on the shoelaces like this, right?
Yeah, there was, yeah.
And he's kind of that humble person that he doesn't want to burn the kids out. So, yeah, could we start some youngsters from the beginning, throw them in the deep end? If they had a shit start, they would psychological scar them for life, right? So potentially he protected them too well. But again, 3 minutes to give Obi Martin 3 minutes. What can you do in 3 minutes, right? You need at least 10 minutes to create a chance. So yeah, Guns N' Roses, yeah, for sure. You gotta look at, like, you should have bravery, courage to play some kids. What was the purpose of bringing 9 kids in? Kids excursion. This is how it likes to play at Tottenham Hotspur's stadium. But the audacity then of media, not really. I mean, the social media. We seen that straight after sugarcoating, doing this fantastic Obi Martin, the first 17-year-old. Like, come on, we just lost the game. We could have won it.
It's not even that for me. It's not even the big thing about that. Like, just play them. We're 15th already. We're fucking done.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, play them. We're losing games anyway. Play them.
Exactly.
Like,
but the thing is,
what are we waiting for? Are we challenging for a league title?
The thing is,
I
I just want to say, when it comes to these youngsters, I just want to say we have a tradition when it comes to Man United, throwing on youngsters from nothing, coming in and actually doing stuff. Quenda came in, Januzaj, Wilson came in. I think he scored 2 goals
Rashford.
in his debut. The one who started on the gigs in his 4 games. I don't know. He scored 2 goals in that game against Norwich. We won 4-0. I can't remember his name right now. And Rashford, for example, throw on young players. They can actually perform because they live on the adrenaline the first 5, 6, 7 games and can come in and perform. So, and also I think when you throw on the youngsters, they maybe they are not good enough to perform over a season, but for a short amount of games, I think they can come in and play a role. And I think we as fans also will be gently with them. We won't bash them too hard. Myself.
But Jarvis, can I just say that this was a golden opportunity? I would argue to say, you guys can agree, this is the best crop of youngsters we had since 1992, sitting there on the bench, and this is what we want to see, and what harm is it to play them like for the rest of the season? I said, treat it as a long preseason, like give them minutes. Then in the summer, you have a proper preseason training. You get deadwoods out of the system that doesn't fit, and then you potentially sell Rashford and everything and recruit from Amorim, and then you give it a fresh start in the season, and they already then embedded in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would like to have seen something a tad different from those kids on the bench. I totally agree with you. We were talking about it last night, weren't we, Jarvis? Should the kids have gone on? I think you should have given one or two of them a go. It's always difficult. Great experience, though, isn't it? Getting into the first team, understanding what it's like on match day. But then every time the camera pans to the bench, it always pans to Amorim. The kids are lined up in a row. You got to be out. You got to be up. You got to be out. Gaffer, I'm going out. Gaffer, any chance? Gaffer, you got to be in his fucking ear.
Yeah,
got to be in his ear constantly, lads. It's great to be there. Make yourself, let yourself known. Get training. Get up and down that thing for 10 minutes. Go and sit down. Gaffer, any chance? Gaffer, any chance? You've got to be constantly in their fucking ear, constantly. And unfortunately, guys, I've seen it so many times throughout my playing days where kids or, by the way, I'm not saying these kids don't fancy it because that's not what I'm saying. But you look at the bench and you've got players there that just don't fancy it. They don't want to come on. You know, Norridin, you know as well as I do, don't you, pal? When you go match day, our bench is always warming up, isn't it? 9 out of 10 times, it's always warming up and down. It doesn't matter if they're out for 5-8 minutes. They're always warming up to get the applause, try and get the crowd going. I want to see more of that from the kids. It's really poor. I'm going to get absolutely hammered, by the way, from the Devilish Tacticos, because it's not something that people consider. But Nuruddin plays football. Jarvis, we've all played football, and we know the importance of letting the gaffer know you want to be out there. Gaffer, I don't want to be on the bench, mate. Come on. Gaffer,
body language, eagerness,
Yeah, anything like that. Gaffer, even if he turns around and tells you to shut the fuck up, give it 5 minutes and, like, boss, any chance, you know, or run past him. I mean, I saw an interview years ago. Yeah, I saw an interview years ago, and I can't remember the player. But anyway, his point was that if he was on the bench, he would physically, even if he had to go right to go left, he would physically run past the manager's eyes, warming up. Physically do it, even if I had to go round him to do it. And I wanted to see that yesterday. I admit it's a very tiny point. I admit it's a very, very tiny point. But you want to see that confidence. You want to see that body language of the kids raring to go. With the
but you know,
Martin, with the Obi Martin thing, Mick, and lads, for 3 minutes, I mean, what's the fucking point? I said to Jarvis, was it last night? Or I said to somebody, I had a message come through on Norridin must have had it as well on the Manchester United app. 17-year-old makes history. What the fuck is all that?
Yeah,
about?
I mean, this is what I was saying. They're trying to sugarcoat it.
Who cares?
I mean, this is the social media PR team. But you know, from a game perspective, like, you know, where Ange started to sort of do his subs, like when he takes out the Dangerman, Maddison, all that stuff, starting to do his subs. This is where I start looking, well, okay, the coast is clear now. What's the danger? Like you had Morehouse, which is a ball-carrying midfielder. You know, he could do a job. You had Jack Fletcher, which is a specimen himself, right? You had Sekokone as well that could do a better job than actually Casemiro did. So,
yeah,
you know, from that minute, you should have looked at, okay, Postecoglou done 5 substitutes, and you done none, right? In 3 minutes, he gives, you know, just to do some headlines. Cheeto be Martin. You know?
it's just. I mean, you know,
and that's why I say we could have actually won the game by applying a little bit of a more energy that needed from the 75 minutes onwards.
It's true. But I like what I see. I saw that Zirkzee put out a tweet on Obi Marty when he came on and said, what did he say? I think I have the tweet here. Give me 2 seconds. I will bring it up. But it was something positive at least, and I'm glad.
He said to him, stay up the pitch. He said to him, you stay up the pitch. When he came on, he said to him, you stay up the pitch. We'll be here. You go front. You go forward.
Yes, but after the game, this come up more to come, little bro. You know, and I like. Yeah. I know the social media accounts and stuff like that, but I think it's positive. I think
it's encouraging.
It's encouraging. Yes, it's a good thing. Yeah. So
This is I do agree with. I think he's right. You know, kids probably excited to get game time. They didn't cause problems. No, that's right. They won't. They won't go. You know what? And I know Rooney, different player, Giggs, different player, Lee Sharp, different type of player, different type of mentality. You've got to just rattle the cage. You have to rattle the cage. Be like a fucking gorilla, get on the cage and start fucking rattling it. Gaffer, let me out of this fucking hole I'm in and let me play. Because I agree with Nuruddin and Mick. Get the ball. All right, you might be nervous for 2-3 minutes. You might be fucking adrenaline. Your heart will be racing. You'll be listening to the crowd. And then after 5 minutes, the crowd's gone. You wouldn't believe what it's like to step out in a stadium, hear the crowd for that split second, then as soon as the game goes, it's gone. The crowd's gone. You just don't listen to it. You blur it out. And these kids would have done that. And that's how they blossom in football. So I'd love to see a little bit more of that from them. But I agree. I think we've got a great crop of kids. Morehouse in particular looks a hell of a prospect. He really does. He looks a fabulous prospect. Coney. I think Coney's got the physical attribute to play now.
100%.
Obi Martin, he looked bigger than I thought, didn't he, Jarvis, when he came on? You know, when you put him against Graham, it looked okay. But we know, we've all said, if you're 17, 18, 19, and you're physically able to play the game. Bergval's only 18, isn't he, for Spurs?
Yeah.
He's only 18, something like that.
Bergwijn is a tactician as well. Technician. If we look at our midfield, I mean, we look like we are some form of, how do I say it? Static mannequins, right? Kind of robotic, right? So we don't have, like, you know, the technical abilities to actually create something. And that's the difference. If you look at other Premier League midfielders, there's ballers in there. And I want to sort of touch base on Zirkzee. Like, you know, if you surround Zirkzee's a baller, 100%. Like, you know, the way he's handling the ball in tight spaces. He's not the quickest, but in order to sort of get the best out of Zirkzee, you need to have good ballers around him, in my opinion. What's your opinion regarding that?
I'm with you. Me and Jarvis touched on that again last night. We touched on quite a lot, actually, Jarvis, when I think
we
of
did.
it. I didn't realise at the time, but we mentioned that his footwork,
it's amazing.
It's bordering on outstanding. His footwork is bordering on outstanding. He's got to add to his game, though. You know, once he makes that space, he's then got to utilise the ball better. He gets across the ground quite quickly, and that's really because of his stride, because he's a big guy. He's got long legs, hasn't he? He gets across the ground nicely. His passing, I don't think, is as crisp as what it could be. He doesn't fizz the ball in. He'll let it bobble a bit, and that's because he's running the heel rather than the top end of his foot to really fizz it. But that game will come. What we've seen from Zirkzee in the last 3 games is probably a little bit of akin to, without the goals, his Bologna days. A little bit of akin to. We're starting to see what a bit
more confidence, like, you know, handling the ball, and you just, you know, the ball is
thinking about coming back from that. I was at the Newcastle game when he got booed and then he went down the tunnel and then came back. So to come back from that takes a lot. He's definitely got character about him, hasn't he? You know what I mean? Because a lot of players would have sank.
But he's good on the ball. That's the issue with Zirkzee. He's really good on the ball. He knows 100%. How to get himself out of tight spaces. He holds on to the ball. He dribbles.
I've never seen him play and make people so easy. Like
he does
it almost like Berbatov when he was playing. I remember, so like very calm, composed when he had the ball. But my issue with Zirkzee is his off the ball movement and his defending. He's very nonchalant in his press play, and he's easily
just like Berbatov.
Yes. So yes, we need players like Zirkzee, but then we have to build our team a little bit around those type of characters.
Yeah, that's what I was
will be a weakness.
alluding to.
So
because he's not the quickest. He's not the quickest, but he's good on the, you know, the short passes and the lay off the ball and stuff like that. There was an instance where I saw him, like, and he started to track back, started to jog, and he gave up. Like, he doesn't have the legs and the pace, but he has the technical ability. That's the thing. So I agree with what you're saying. You got to build a midfield around him and you know,
Zirkzee's a brilliant middle third technician.
Mm.
But where Berbatov, a great analogy, by the way, Nira, where Berbatov, he was very languid. All of a sudden, off camera, you wouldn't, if you're in the stadium, you see it'd be run. It'd start to really pick up pace because he could almost foresee where he needed to be for the ball to be at his foot. Nobody ever really knew how he did it, but he did. He'd be deep 1 minute, next minute he's putting the ball in the back of the net. And everybody's wondering, how the fuck has he got there? Because he got no pace, Berber, had he? Zero pace. Zirkzee.
But he was an incredible finisher. I mean, the level.
Wasn't he just
the level of type of finishes outside of the boot, inside of the boot, flicked it like the head. The hat trick. I was behind the goal of the hat trick against Liverpool.
Was you?
Yeah.
No,
it was unbelievable.
But
the winner when he got the winner overhead kick. He needed.
Oh yes, Zirkzee. But if Zirkzee could look at Berber and just look at his movement, but Berber did everything with his brain. Yeah, he got brilliant feet, but his brain carried him into the area. Zirkzee's got the Berbatov feet. He hasn't got the brain. No, he's only young, isn't he? 20. What is he? 23. Zirkzee, 23, something like that.
23. He's 23 years old. Yeah.
Something like that. So, if he can start looking at the players from the past and adapt his game to that, he'd be a massive asset to us. Because his play yesterday was, I think that's the best he's shown in a red shirt. His intricacy was absolutely brilliant. But yeah, he just couldn't quite. He couldn't build on it yesterday, could he? I thought his header was a criminal miss.
Oh. To be fair, he was slightly late. And I'm like, how can you be so late? Because it caught him in a weird angle. He should have been in there and headed it down. Like, you know what I mean? Like, onto because I was expecting, when I saw that ball and I saw his big afro, I was like, that's in the bottom corner, you know what I mean? No chance for the goalkeeper. But when you saw the replay, he was slightly late and he was stretching his neck muscles to get there. He was slightly late, and
it's a shame, isn't it? But again, I agree with you, it's criminal, isn't it? Get in there, get into the space, pop it down into the corner, peel away.
Hardest thing in football, man, honestly. And that's why when players did it, like Zirkzee or, Roy Keane, when we first signed him, like the first 3-4 years, Roy Keane, breaking into the box. You know what I mean? Those goals are so, it's so hard for defenders. I mean, through those. When you've got an oncoming midfielder or a number 10 bursting into the box. Zirkzee was like that. Zirkzee is such a little magic wonder feat. He used to just come in and bam, a couple of skips, used to send people to the shots. Little jig and then boom, bottom corner finishes. Yeah. I do think though that they need to just calm down, the ex-players, because they would struggle in this fucking team. All of them will die. All of them would die in this team. The football club that they used to play for is not the football club now. It's not. The Glazers have fully destroyed this football club.
They have.
It's gone, yeah.
On a positive note, we have a new subscriber, 556 subscribers. So guys, girls, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, our goal is 1,000 to get fully monetized. And every sub helps. So I appreciate it. Thank you for the last person subscribing. And we also got recently monetized, so we are open for memberships and super chats and stuff like that right now. So
why don't you go through the memberships, Jarvis? Because we have a list, don't we?
Yes, we have a list. We have a list of memberships. So the membership list is, we have the level 1, that's devilish tactical, and next level is strategic tactical. Level 3 is Maestro Tactical, and if you want to go hardcore, it's Supremo Tactical. So, but that's $9.99.
And you won't be surprised to know that Jarvis has had me at the bottom, just a devilish Tactico. Yep. I take any chance it's going to be Maestro. No chance, mate.
No, not a chance. Not a chance.
You've got to do some more work, he said, Stu.
Fucking hell. To be Maestro, you got to be Mr. Miyagi. Like, you got to learn to wax on, wax off.
you are. Also, by the way, guys, big thank you to Mick, because he produced our very first super chat. So thank you.
Yeah, I did.
That was absolutely brilliant.
And I became a member by my own without gifting.
Yes, we were over the moon for that. So thank you.
We are.
Yeah, big up to Mick.
Yes, big up, Mike. Today, I just want to go through a couple of things, and bear with me. Let's see. Here we go. Today we saw this one coming out. It's about Casemiro. He said, "I respect Man United. I'm very grateful. I have a year and a half left on my contract, and I like to fulfill it here in Manchester. So I'm comfortable here." So basically, I think he's saying Casemiro, he wants to stay. I don't know if you saw this. So 1.5 years left on his contract. So basically, Casemiro is here to stay. What do you guys think? What's your instant reaction? You want to go first?
Can I go first?
Yeah.
So it reminds me of a player called Winston Bogart.
Yeah, that's it.
Let me jog your memory.
The old Chelsea
Winston
guy.
Bogart.
Old Chelsea guy. Yeah.
At
Dutch
Chelsea.
player. Dutch international.
Player,
Wasn't
very
brilliant.
powerful, very strong. Actually,
Brilliant
left back
player.
or centre back. Left footed,
Left and centre half,
yeah,
left back.
yeah.
Great man.
He was a big fella. They got him. I think in that time they put him on 40 grand. This
40
or
grand
30
a week.
grand or whatever it was.
Yeah, 40 grand it was.
And Chelsea were like, we need you to. We like to move you on. And he was like, "Yo, what?
Yeah.
Move me on. Ain't nobody paying me this. I'll turn up for training every day. You want me to train with the kids? No problem.
Yeah.
You want me to sit on the bench on a match squad? No problem." So Jarvis will remember it because I was heavily criticized when Casemiro signed. You remember, Jarvis? I did say, I was like, I literally said this. This was what my words were. I said, his grandchildren, even though they're not in this world, they're dancing on the Copacabana beach because no other football club in world football was paying 70 million for Casemiro. 70 million. And no other football club was giving him 5-year contract at that age. And no other football club in world football was giving him over 300 grand a week. So let me repeat for the people in the back.
£80 million a year.
So I said at that time to people, and people were like, you don't know what you're talking about. You're waffling. The videos are out there on ETV on my channel as well. What people were saying to me, you hate Casemiro, you don't know ball, you don't. And I was like, listen, I'm just saying, I want him to do well. I hope that he can be successful. I'm just letting you know the difference between La Liga and the Premier League. I'm trying to explain to you how he was. And then every time he played well in that first season, everybody's like, look at this. Everybody was trying to say, look, comps of Casemiro. Everybody was, all up in my face. But I did say at the time, I said, I'm not saying he's a horrendous player. I'm just telling you the age he is, for the money we paid for him, for the wages that we're giving him, for the length of contract. It's crazy. And in that first season, he became a crucial player. Remember, all of us were absolutely deviled when he was getting red carded. Never had a red card in his career in the league. He was getting red card right, left, and centre here. And we were all deviled. Right? So that player is what the player is. So Casemiro is in within full right to say, the kids are settled in this school.
Yeah.
I'm liking learning the English. I'm all good, baby. I ain't going nowhere. So that's his prerogative. But shame on the people who signed him.
Yeah, no, contractually speaking, he has the rights. You can't force him out. That's the thing. And what you said, spinning on further, he also said that his best season ever was the first season under Erik ten Hag. Of course, that was the best Casemiro we saw. But if you go back to the original idea that Ten Hag chased Frankie de Jong, and this was a kind of a panic by 2 weeks left of the window, when all of a sudden we shifted and we paid that silly money for Casemiro. He was unveiled and revealed. And yeah, he had one good season at United. But if you look at Real Madrid, Dino and everyone else, who did he play with? Toni Kroos. Modric, yeah. They were like, his weaknesses was not revealed in that point. But when you put him in the Man United team, when you have to run in the Premier League, he gets exposed. He lasted for one full season. The remaining, what we've seen, legs are gone, mate. But he's not a bad footballing player. He's not. We've seen his cameos in front of the goal, his headers. But for him to come out here, like, his kids are settled. I'm getting to 375k a week. Contractually speaking, you can't move me on unless somebody else comes and pay me that wages, like Saudi League. Yeah.
Yeah, it's lazy journalism as well, isn't it? At the same time,
It is.
Good old Fabrizio. What can I say today? I can't say the Gyökeres deal's off because nobody will read it, etc. I can find something to read it. The time has got to come again. We've got to go full circle with players. We've got to turn around and say, get your agent in, you're sold. The end. Your agent negotiates your payoff, you're gone. That's it. The end. It's got to stop because, fellas, as Nuruddin said, we're going to pay him anyway. You're going to pay him out his contract either way. Yeah, but
Martial did the same thing. He was sitting it out to the end of his contract.
Yeah. And we've got to
stop.
Nowhere. Yeah, we've got to stop this now. Get your agent in. You've gone in the summer. Start negotiating now because when the summer comes, your contract's terminated. You're gone. Go and sign for somebody else. Go to Saudi Arabia. Go back to Brazil. But your contract's gone. It has to stop. This whole player power has got to stop. It's got to finish immediately. And the only way is if a club like Manchester United, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, I don't talk City and Liverpool, not interested, but the real big clubs.
Stu, I mean, we are trying. I mean, one thing that you can recognize in the January window, we try to be the Galacticos. Like, we've been the Galacticos. Like,
we tried that, yeah. I mean,
Real Madrid is the only Galactico club left there. Barcelona is crumbling because they,
look what Barcelona did.
Yeah, it's not sustainable, right? We are the similar situation. Barcelona. Financially speaking, we are the same situation with Barcelona. Like,
I wish we were. I wish we were talented for a league title. I wish we were.
My point is that...
Oh, my God. We're 15. They're talented for a league. And they've got a good chance in the Champions League this season.
They have. Got a good side, haven't they?
But in order to do so, they have to sell off the kids and the VIP boxes and all that stuff. But my point is that, at least in January, it was never a attempt to get players in and back Amorim. It was all about to get rid of the high earners, right? They failed to get rid of Casemiro, but they succeeded to get Rashford out of the door, right? Anthony went on loan. That's another 250k of the week. So the remaining is what? Luke Shaw got injured, and the club was bubble wrapping and saying he's coming back on training on Monday.
Yeah, he's a high earner, only 200 grand or something.
Yeah. So this is the final piece of the jigsaw puzzle that, if you look at the remaining of the squad, nobody's over 200k. Victor Lindelof is going. Eriksen is going in the summer. Potentially Rashford is not coming back. So I would sort of look at what they're going to do in the summer. Yeah,
they will all be back, Mick. Don't you worry. They're all coming back. They're all coming back.
It's like a horror movie. The Stephen King. Sometimes they come back. Nuruddin. It's like the Stephen King. Stephen King. You remember that? Sometimes they come back. Please.
Yeah, but you've got to. I mean, Carlos. That's what I was saying. You've got to pay. That Carlos is saying you still have to pay the player. I said, yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. But you've got to negotiate your way out of it now. You have to. Somewhere along the line, you've got to draw a line. Somewhere along the line, you've got to say enough's enough. You're not doing it anymore. We are, as a club, are not doing it. Now we all know the club's broke, unless miraculously Ratcliffe can put through Ineos, and I don't even think Ineos have got the spare cash at the minute. 500 mil. To start doing something, but they can't.
I read something today that they are looking at doing something like Todd Bowley, Clearwater Capital, to sell off the assets.
I wouldn't surprise me. You've got to. I mean,
liquidate the assets.
Yeah,
this is how Todd Bowley did this: sold off the hotels and everything else.
He did,
put it back in. Yeah.
So what asset is Man United? We own the land around Old Trafford, but do we own any hotels? There's not much there yet. There's railroads and.
What Mick's talking about?
We don't own anything. We don't own anything that's standing up at this
moment
in time. Yeah. I think we might own. I think we own the Cliff. I think we still own the Cliff, Mick.
We still own the Cliff, yeah. Mick was talking about Clearwater was selling off their assets, their hotel businesses and things like that. And what they did, they freed up a shed load of capital to do that. Hushed it through. There's a $1 billion sale going through, isn't there, on the I don't know what business it is, but part of it is what they call that business, but it's to do with hand wash, hand gel, all the sanitizing business that Ineos made.
hygienic Ineos.
That's the one.
Hygienic,
Yeah. So that was born in 2019 to service the hospitals. He got, contracts, etc. They sell that. They're going to open up something. They're cutting away all their sponsorships by the looks of it, aren't they? I mean, I did think it was quite funny yesterday.
Ineos.
Yeah, Ineos on that.
Yeah.
I thought that was quite funny. But, the bottom line is they weren't involved with Manchester United when they did that deal. And you can't just pull out of a sponsorship deal because you're in Manchester United. So they've got
they're
pulling out the All Blacks, though.
It was funny watching Spurs yesterday, see the Ineos placards.
Yeah, exactly.
And advertising boards all around. But they're getting sued by the All Blacks. I've done a video on United Real Therapy. I talked about it. They've not been successful in any of their sports, whether it was the boat race.
Me too, man. I did
I did the video about Nice. I talked about them in Formula One. I talked about them getting that Swiss team relegated. I talked about, at that time, how many managers they sacked at Nice. And when they came in, they over-promised for Nice and then didn't deliver any shit. So, yeah. And Nice, at least Nice in the French, last time I checked on the table, they were 5th or 6th, I think they were.
Yeah.
I had a caller that called in on my show, and he was French guy, Nice supporter as well. And he said, we haven't even been in Champions League. The highest we finished was 5th, right? So everything that touched, it's not been successful. And yeah, you're right. If you look at the overall sporting franchise, what Ineos stands for is all performance management, right? The marginal gains. We talked about this, right? But, the Project 22 to hire some university professor this is football. This is not cycling. It doesn't work like this. You need to invest a blend of youth with experienced players, right? But you know what? We are stuck with this Brighton model, what they are saying. Brighton model, of course, what we're going to do. Did Brighton challenge for anything? No. We buying players from 5 million, 10 million, and then we're selling out potential like a Casado for 100 million. So that's basically, they're looking at the academy as products, like a Norwegian salmon farm, right?
Yes.
So, and this is the typical PSR. I blame it a little bit on PSR that enabled that, right? So they look at the model like, wow, shit, Manchester City sold Cole Palmer for 40 million. He never kicked a ball in the Premier League,
Yeah.
So half of these academy players will not even make it to the first team. So it's sad to see them that they've been treated like products, like salmon in a way. They're going to be sold expensively.
Yeah.
And this is where they're banking up to say, well, this is how we're going to survive. But another thing what I talked about regarding assets, we're talking about the land bank assets that Glazers own, right? This shitloads of land bank that they own, right? And this is the reason why they're hanging on, because the stadium is going to be built by, the Greater Manchester community, blah, blah, blah. They're going to build hotels, shopping malls, create jobs. But it's going to happen until, 2032?
Yeah, the earliest. I mean, crikey, it'll take... Everton's gone live tonight, hasn't it? Everton Stadium with an under-18s game, 10,000 people. It's like a tester thing, and that stadium looks wonderful. But that's 3 years.
So where's the money coming from then? Where's the money coming from at the end of the day? Because as Trollers Limited or Ineos, they cannot put in any more money into it. So the only way is to say, they sit down and have a board meeting, guys. We push as far as we can. My money has already gone. I saved the club almost for going to administration. The only sensible thing is to sell up, because they set a precedent of 33 bucks per share, and whoever comes in, they will profit. And finally, they might get 9 to 10 billion, because guess what? It's still, even if we even if we get relegated, let's play with the thought. Manchester United is still a big brand. They will still get money. Yeah. So the only way for the way I see it is one thing, like sell off some assets, or sell up the club totally, and let somebody else come in and buy it,
I'm with you, Mick, actually. I think a full sale is...
Burn it to
the ground. I said to Jarvis last night...
Another thing what I want to mention as well, playing youth and kids, well, do you guys remember anything how the club survived doing that? After the Munich air disaster, Busby, he built the new Manchester United on prospect youth. And this is where our mantra comes from, right? So maybe this is a saving grace. Maybe this is what the club needs, a total reset, right?
It does.
Maybe.
It does need a total reset. It does. We were asked last night, weren't we, Jarvis, about would we accept relegation, didn't we? And we both said, realistically, absolutely, because that's going to force the hand of somebody.
I said that a season and a half ago.
Yeah,
I was the first one putting it out there. I was floating that idea. I said I'll take 2 years in the Championship to get rid of the Glazers, mate.
We won't get relegated. You're right, because Carlos has said we won't get relegated. There are 3-4 worse teams by miles, and so it won't happen.
I don't see us winning anywhere. I don't know.
I went through the fixtures yesterday, and in my estimations right now, we are about, maybe if we're lucky, we can take 8 points on the remainder of the games.
I mean, we're going to
we really struggle. And I also went through Ipswich's games.
You did,
and in my estimations, they will take about 18 points because they have a really easy fixtures left, and they meet Wolves, they will play Leicester, they will play us, they will play West Ham, so they will take a lot of points. So never say never, but I'm not starting with the doom and gloom. I'm just saying.
We're twinning.
Doom and gloom. We're sat at 15th, Jarvis. I don't think anybody's bringing doom and gloom.
We're going to Everton, don't we, Saturday? Does anyone in this panel think we're going to go to Everton and beat them? Because I don't.
No.
I really don't.
Not at 12:30.
Well, listen, what if, I just playing with the thought, what if City get charged by the 130 charges and we get relegated? What an interesting derby.
That's why I've been telling all those blue noses today who've been trying to have a go at me. I've been telling them I'll see you in League Two.
and we keep us spots because City gets relegated.
I think all of this massive spending spree they've just gone on is a smokescreen. They're trying to put the illusion out there that they've got away with it. But
funny you mentioned that, because I did a tweet about it 2 days ago, and basically knowing that they're going to get a transfer ban, they win it, secure Erling Haaland with a 9-year contract, they went on a spending spree as well, because they know they're going to get at least a transfer ban, right?
Big transfer ban as well. Big one. Long one. Big fine. Big transfer.
But to be fair to them, they
didn't spend anything in the summer anyway.
They went and fixed it, and now the guy they bought.
Bloody did. Look at Mamouche.
I
don't like him. I don't like him.
Barabush, let me bring the
Fandango.
Yeah, but if you look at the fixtures, like Everton, Fulham in the FA Cup, Arsenal with the day of the protest, Leicester away.
Yeah, big protest, isn't it?
Nottingham Forest away, City at home derby, Newcastle,
Liverpool.
Wolves, Bournemouth, Brentford, West Ham, Chelsea, Aston Villa. This is tough games.
Where did you say we were going to get eight points from, Jarvis? Can you clarify the 8 points there, mate?
We went through it yesterday, didn't we, Noradin? We counted about 8 points.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't agree with the 8 points. I thought you were a bit optimistic for my liking.
Imagine going to Bournemouth away in a minute.
Ipswich
gets 6.
Yeah, we will see. I also read today. I don't know. We can talk. I saw other channels cover it, but let's just go through it quickly. But this came up. Breaking: Man United could offer Paul Pogba a short-term contract on strict terms. He's desperate to get back in action. It's from Rich Fay. So I don't know. Let's do a quick round around the panel. Would you like Pogba to come back?
I'll just quickly give you my 2 pence. It's because we talked about it last night. I said if we could get him on something like 10 grand a week, because let's face it, he can't come and ask for 100 grand. He can't ask for 50 grand. He can't ask for 30 grand. Then he's worth a punt. He's worth a punt, and that's it. Do I want him back? Nope, no chance. I just don't want him anywhere near the club. But
pay as you play.
Pay as you play as well. Pay as you play. Anything like that, I would probably say okay. But what kind of Pogba are you getting back anyway? You
don't know.
You don't know.
Kicked the ball for 2 years.
He's
injury prone guy, very injury prone.
He's gonna have to be.
I just can't be. That's the circus and the headache. Could I be asked with all of this? Like, well, at the end of the day,
we don't know. We don't know.
At the end of the day, we don't just need him. We need to find out what others are coming back from injuries and haven't got a contract.
Yeah.
We need help at this moment, guys. We need help.
Yeah, so
Sound the alarm. We might have to get Stu in there.
yeah, I'll go in and play. I'll go in and play central.
I'm sure. I promise you, if you played Stu, I know you saw Casemiro, and he's covering space of 20 yards left side, 30 yards on his right hand side. I'm sure as a centre half, you in the back three, you're going to go and step in there and help him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I said to Jarvis last night, you talk brilliantly. Actually, your analysis of Maddison was brilliant because we were focusing on Kulusevski, me and Jarvis. We were looking at the way that he played. We mentioned Maddison where he would float into, but we felt that Kulusevski would be the danger. And actually, as it transpired, Maddison was almost blocking Kulusevski off. But what wasn't happening was, which I couldn't quite get my brain around, and I was really struggling with this, you mentioned Tell. And I said last night, you didn't have to worry about Tell. He was never going to play on your shoulder. Maguire didn't need to worry about it. You worry about Maddison. You step in there for Maddison. That's what what you were talking about is exactly what we spoke about last night. And you were spot on, Nuruddin, because that's where I would have been. I would have said to Mazraoui, and I would have said to Dalot, if Tell flips over to your side, just keep an eye on him. But I'm going to step in on Maddison. So you've got to be prepared to cover him behind me if I get dragged a little bit. Kulusevski was doing nothing because Maddison was just cocked.
He's on a horrendous form at the moment, Kulusevski.
Okay.
Spurs fans are going crazy about it. Saying
and same with Son as well.
Well, Son was terrible. Yeah, sorry, Mick. Yeah, Son was terrible. I just want to quickly say, again, we focused on Son as well, didn't we, to an extent? Okay. We knew Maddison was going to be the issue.
Yeah, regarding Maddison, Stu and panel, the tap-in that he did, do you think we could have avoided that? Because we were ball watching again as a defense.
Well, I picked it apart last night, Mick.
But it's also Unana, isn't it? Unana.
You should have put it to the side.
Everything back into play. How many goals since he's been here have you conceded where he pushes stuff back into play?
Do you know what our biggest problem was, though, guys? and Jarvis, he gave me the rabbit eyes, and it was Dorgu.
Dorgu, sleeping.
Dorgu was watching Maddison.
Yeah, sleeping. Yeah,
absolutely watching him. Maguire didn't need to face up Bergvall. He could have dropped back in, and he should have been then directing Dalot, but Dorgu should have been directing both of them. Dorgu should have said.
And that's the thing about Dorgu. I talked about that. He's not very good defensively in terms of positionally. I did say that.
I didn't want to have a go with him last night, but I couldn't.
No, it was clear because he's the one that can see. And to be fair, Unana as well. Unana should have fucking said something. But to me, the guy he was closest to, it's always dangerous, isn't it? I mean, this is the way that I was coached. Sometimes I cover center. Sometimes I used to cover center half. They always say, if any attacker can see your number, you're in fucking shit, mate.
That's exactly right. If you can't see behind you, Nuruddin, if you don't know what's behind you, first and foremost, there shouldn't be anyone behind you. You should be a little step
Madison
back.
was behind. Behind
I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, here we go.
I think we can go through it here. The goal from yesterday's game, and was a cross from was it Porro? No, Bentancur.
Now when the ball goes like that, now Dorgu needs to come in and remember he has to come inside now and go inside. Diego Dalot is terrible, obviously horrendous, letting the ball come back.
He's coming up from the offside.
So Dorgu said you wanted him here in this place.
Yes. Should be there.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, exactly right. That's where he needs to be.
You have to tuck in either side.
Or he pulls Dalot across. But either way, Dorgu is the key element to it. But I would tuck him in absolutely. Can I just say one thing though?
It's about Unana as well. Good goalkeepers, Mick will tell you. Will say number.
Yeah, it's the goalkeepers also to give instructions because as a goalkeeper there you see what's going on. Definitely.
In front of you. I know you focus on the ball, but everything's in front of you. You should have the peripheral vision to know that.
You should said.
There.
Look at him. I mean, I just can't believe how we. So if you start it, first and foremost, Son's going for goal here, guys. Guaranteed. Yeah. He's not trying to cut that back.
No.
It's a deflection, right?
Yeah, he's going for goal,
trying
right?
to shoot it directly at goal.
Absolutely. And if he gets that right, they don't score because he saves it. Well, okay. Let me take that back. He may save it. We know what he's like, don't we? But stop it there. Maguire.
I think Bruno. Look at Bruno. Even when you're going to block a shot, you need to go in a bit more than that. Like you have to go. You have to commit a little bit. I'm not saying wipe the player out, but you have to think. The ball, he can't hit it between my legs. There's a way of closing your legs and going to the ball like that to block it. He doesn't have a clue. He doesn't have that.
Now, there's two other things here. Watch Maddison's body shape.
Yeah. He's already banking on it.
Exactly. What's more criminal, as well, that Dorgu isn't cutting in Nuruddin, his body shape is he's trying to play somebody offside. Who the fuck are you going to play offside? Look at his body shape. He's trying to come out to play offside. Who the fuck are you going to play offside?
We have Dalot here. That's the problem.
Yeah, man. There's never any way offside.
You have 5 defenders in the box.
So when that plays in,
you can't. You allow this shot to go through. That's the problem as well.
Yeah.
So
stop it
a
there.
simple leg out or a block out.
It's just terrible. It's just.
And again, here you see Delict ball watching and
Dorgu
loses control.
There you should be reactionary, like you should just go in and protect
the ball away. Kicking the ball away.
They're standing still and watching it, and allowing Maddison.
By the time he notices Delict, look at his body language. By the time he notices.
Right, look at Dalot as well, going, "Oh, what's gone in here?" Well,
you dickhead should have stopped that. You are the cause. Because you got caught inside while you better been out.
Yeah. 5 defenders ball watching, yes.
Exactly right. Yeah, exactly right. I can't believe this. Trevor Wade's rinsed me big time here, lads. Fucking Gary Neville. You can't put my name in the same space as Gary Neville. Come on, Trevor.
Gary Neville G Neville's a fucking snake. He's part of the Ineos now, and that's why he's not saying the peep out of them. He's not saying a word. And I've done a video a month ago, people. Those are people who are not thinking, catching on. Yeah. I've done a video a month ago about why he's compromised. I titled the video, Gary Neville is compromised. Do not believe. And I said to people, he's in bed with Ineos and Glazers. He's compromised. What do you do? What do you do when you come in and take over a new and you want to put unpopular things through the football club? You silence the person who's been most vocal in mainstream media against the Glazers. You silence him. And the way you do that, you get him involved, you compromise him so he can't come out against you.
Yeah, you put him on the committee or a committee. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
He's a committee, he's on the redevelopment committee. So,
that's what it's called in capitalism, skullduggery. The level of skullduggery.
Wasn't it something further spin-off today that he's not allowed to comment anymore on Man United games? Or there was something that I heard?
No, somebody said that. It was an article. There was an article. So some guy in the Telegraph wrote an article I saw today saying that shouldn't cover Manchester United anymore because there's a conflict of interest.
Conflict.
Yeah, it's conflict. Well, that they call it. They call it conflict of interest, but it is. Basically, he's been compromised.
Yes.
Yeah. He's more interested in the real estate adventures and being a billionaire. It was that Davos the other day. You know that Davos? When the
Davos, the old... are you on about Davos? The Dalek?
Davos, the big meeting of the world's billionaires.
I'm sorry, you're
the Davos.
The Davos Summit. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Davos, the old Dalek.
The World Economic Forum.
Switzerland, isn't it?
Yeah, Switzerland. Yeah. Gary Neville was there. A couple of years back, Peter Schmeichel was there with the Glazers. Let's not forget about that.
Yes.
Remember when Kasper Schmeichel talked warmly about Ineos in the beginning when Ineos was coming in?
When he was at Nice?
Yes. He did a big interview and told them there's fantastic owners.
So then he left that year.
Of course.
Check his bank account.
Of course. And I always tell people the last time Manchester United were in debt was in 1930.
There you go. I knew I was right. Dallas, leader of the Daleks. I knew it.
Yeah.
I'm on fire. Jarvis, I'm on fire tonight, pal. On fire.
I've not heard of the leader of the Daleks.
Oh, it's Zirkzee. Hey.
But, you can't see.
Yeah, Zirkzee. What have you got to say about Man United? He's like, no.
Yeah, no, nothing.
He's like, what are you talking to? His head's down here like that. Don't ask me, mate. Are you Radcliffe out, Zirkzee? Radcliffe out?
He nodded. He said yes.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Radcliffe out. Good lad.
Did you say rats? Did you say rats? I like a rat.
Yeah, Radcliffe out?
Yeah.
Would you like to get hold of Radcliffe? What would you like to do to him? He's going back in his bed.
Mm-hmm.
Trev's in with Trev's woke up now. He's bored of football talk. He just wants a normal chat now, Trev. He's had it up.
I want to go a little bit back to the game because I promised you guys we wanted to talk about the Wingbacks and yesterday we had a little problem with our shape.
Jarvis, are you going to put me through saying that Dalot is the wingback? God.
No. I'm just going to explain what happened yesterday because what really happened. Because one way to punish this Amorim system is for the wingers to pin down our wingbacks, because then we get really deep. And they tried that, but the plan was Bruno was actually higher up and Casemiro was down with a single pivot in a way. And Bruno was the one with the legs who were pressing all the way. You saw all the time that Bruno were running everywhere, pressing, and Casemiro was the holding guy. And in that, the plan from Amorim was Dalot to come in on the right side and Dorgu on the left side, or Garnacho on the left side to create some type of diamond in the midfield. But we struggle with this diamond because Son kept his position about here, and it made Mazraoui and Dalot very unsure where to go, who would press, who had the control of Son. So we saw this interchanging with Maddison and Spence, because when Spurs were playing out from the back, we don't have when we pin down the wing back, there's a huge gap on this side. We're not threatening anything here, so the two fullbacks don't need to stay like this. They could push over to one side. You can cut the pitch in half and create an overload. So Spence had the opportunity to invert, and Maddison to go in this space. You know, we know Maddison loves to operate in this space. We also see Eriksen do it all the time, and that's a playmaker space. So it made Bruno. Caught Bruno into trouble because Dalot was always aware of Son and couldn't contribute in this. So Bruno was left alone by covering Spence or Maddison. So he was dragged out of position. So either Bruno kept Maddison and they played it into Spence, or Bruno stayed here with Spence and Maddison was free. So we struggled so much. And all of this was because of Mazraoui and Dalot not figuring out what to do with Son, because that made the whole formation struggle. I don't know if you guys noticed this, how Spence, Son, and Maddison opened up
Spence
one
was
side.
the man of the match.
And if he didn't do anything and they pinned down our wing backs, and we played with the back five, we had Bruno, Casemiro, and Garnacho. He was attached to Pedro Porro for one reason or another and didn't contribute anything to Bergvall, Tell, Bentancur, Spence, Maddison. So they were massively overloading us in the midfield.
I mean,
and we had those guys here playing like two strikes. We said that we played with two strikes yesterday.
Yeah, that's right. And there was two issues really with that. You're absolutely right about Dalot and Mazraoui. Dalot didn't need to worry about Son. You never do. You've got to worry about this space here. That if you put exactly. If you put a big circle in that space there, put a big circle there, old friend. That's where you have to worry about. Dalot's got to play the space, not the man. Allow Mazraoui to play the man, Dalot plays the space. So we talk about zonal pressing all the time, don't we? That's what zonal pressing is. Just play the space. Get into that space and make something. Now, you're absolutely right. We noticed yesterday that Zirkzee was playing centrally pretty much 90% of the game. So he was playing centrally, and he wasn't across to help Dalot, so to speak. So he couldn't get hold of Spence. And by the way, I thought Spence was probably man of the match as well.
Fantastic.
I thought he was absolutely fantastic.
He was.
But all he did was exploit the space.
Correct.
Stu. All he did was exploit the space when there's nobody directly facing you. And the way that Ange's system is, they both invert. They both come in. They go really aggressive, and that's why they leave so much space in behind. And that's why Ipswich have beat them. That's why Leicester beat them.
That's right.
They don't change the way they play. They play so
There will
open.
be, but Northern, if they play like this, there would be space here in this area. But we don't have when they pin down our opposite wing back, and there's no threat on this side, so they could easily just shift over the centre backs, and this area is covered.
Yeah. So what Dalot should have done is play that area, but Zirkzee should have also played the area, but the top side of the area, not the middle or the bottom. So he should have been pretty much on the outskirts, on the halfway line.
Here.
That's where you should have played it. Again, you're playing space, but you're making them think, everything's right. If there's nobody there, Jarvis, and you know as well as I do, you don't have to think. So you can just run into space. You can invert as much as you like, but it only takes 2 or 3 steps to make make the opposition have a decision to make.
I'm not going to lie to you. I watched the Villa and Spurs game in the Cup, and absolutely he got engaged. Every time he come over the halfway line, there was literally body right in a physical way he got engaged. He was going absolutely nowhere. He looked like he couldn't sort his feet out because he didn't have the space. He had no time to think. But in football, when you give anybody space, everybody looks like a world beater.
Yeah, you do. That's right. You get the ball, you can think, right, what am I going to do with it? And that was Spurs' last game before United. It was the Villa in the FA Cup. I watched that game live. I watched it on TV. I watched it, and honestly, he was engaged every time he came. Somebody was out to him quickly, and not giving him time to even get his head up. He was constantly like running out of space near the touchline, and obviously he's right-footed, so he has to come inside. And they cut out the passing lane as well. So he was giving the ball away. He was losing it. Later on, when Spurs put a little bit of pressure on, I think they got 1 goal. And, he went out wide. He was still running, but he wasn't he didn't have the space. Because players physically were confronting him. And here, nobody was confronting him.
Yeah. But Noradin, we have been struggling, and we've been talking about this on your channel. Stu and I have been talking about this. The weakness, the kryptonite of this Amorim system is if the wingbacks are pinned down, what are you going to do? And we have been up against this problem a lot of times. We were against Newcastle. We were against so many teams that did the same thing, pinning down. So how do we solve it? And
the biggest way to me, I mean, the whole idea of playing wingbacks in this system is that they were supposed to give us. And actually, more, this is not just width, but they're supposed to give us the overloads and the ball out all the time. There were times actually when we had the ball yesterday, so it wasn't all bad. There was actually, we did the switches really well. So they were always, Dorgu was always in that space. Diego Dalot was always in that space. Obviously, he hasn't got the quality to put across, that stupid drivers.
Step overs, passing it back.
So telepath. And actually, a couple of the good crosses in the game, it was Casemiro and Bruno that was just underneath them, and the ball was getting whipped in right, left, and centre. But at the end of the day, it's difficult because it is the personality. It depends on those 2 players have to have third lungs, Jarvis, Stu, and Mick. They have to have third lungs. They have to be able, and their rhythm of their timing has to be good for them not to be stagnated. Because when we get pinned with 5, we get overloaded in midfield, and then we're dead. They just play through us because we got 3 stagnated fucking centre backs who don't come and push out, who don't come and press out, who don't be aggressive.
But correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, we have been so easy to defend against because, since the front 3 are playing very compact, and now it's very easy to defend, and the 3-4-3 system requires width with the wingbacks, right? They're supposed to, what you say, create overload. And right now we don't have it, right? So the answer, Quenda in the summer, potentially. Dorgu on the left, Quenda on the right.
You heard me. Amorim told you we have to sell players.
I know.
Before we can get anybody.
Yeah,
So,
but Quenda
where are
is
we
an
going to get the
option.
money to get Quenda? But did you guys see the story about when I woke up this morning? I looked at Twitter. I was just brushing my teeth, and I was laughing my head off because I always talk about how the spin comes out all of a sudden from some journalist
Osimhen.
somewhere. Osimhen! Amorim wants him.
Yes.
The Jackie Norrie story, the CBBC. Those of you who know CBBC children's television, storytelling. The way they come out, like we're children.
But there was a story regarding Quenda. There could be a pre-agreement already discussed in the January.
I don't believe any of that. Nick, I do not believe any word of that. Nothing of that. And I think other teams will outbid us and get the player what they want.
It's Portuguese media, and we remember what happened when it comes to the Bruno saga, and we tried to sign him. There was a lot of spin. And we didn't sign that Bruno in the first summer, but it was a done deal a lot of times, according to
They're very good at the
Portuguese.
clickbaiting. Very good with the clickbaiting. They realize the fan base is big, and so they link any old player, this and that, to clickbait.
Yeah, but I don't want to see any of these transfer windows. We just finished one, so.
This is how they spin it. This is how they spin things, isn't it?
Yeah.
Focus. We lost. The club is in disarray. We're getting a new tie. Hooray!
This protest coming 9th of March. Spin it out. They're getting Osimhen. Quenda. We're linked to everyone all of a sudden.
There's been a lot of spin today. A lot of players we've been linked to, and I don't know if you guys saw.
Jarvis? What did you expect?
Yeah, this guy called
Spinios.
Huijsen from Bournemouth.
Put the Spinios on.
Huijsen, yes, the young centre back, Spanish young centre back.
But
his
the worst one,
his quality.
The worst one was from Central Devils reporting on Sheikh Yassim coming back in. It was like,
I saw.
oh my god!
What is it?
Oh my god! That was the worst.
They buy out the Glazers and work with Ineos, wasn't it? That's what I read.
72.3% they were buying.
That's fucking.
Yeah, right. They called, and Mark Goldbridge called like, yeah, right. So you picked up the phone to Sheikh Yassim before even fucking Romano, Mike Keegan, everything else. So good on you, mate.
Yeah, well done. Yeah.
Now the big point, the rumours that we're hearing is that Spurs are the next football club to be sold in the Premier League.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
This was the latest that came out. Porto striker.
Okay, no.
So, yeah.
Desperate FC. There we go. Spin me off, mate.
Big thanks to Rushmano bringing me all of these updates. Thank you, Rushmano.
What was that? Was that 83 million? Did I see at the bottom of that? 83 million. Fucking hell.
83 million striker instead of Jokenes.
Honestly, yeah, really.
Did you see the Rory Whitwell a couple of weeks ago? Rory Whitwell article.
Yeah. It says too old, 27. Yeah. And linking us to what? Jamie Vardy? Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Jamie Vardy, 38.
I love that. I love that. Jamie Vardy's having a retirement party.
Yes, he is. Yeah, at Old Trafford.
But I saw one interesting rumor today, and I heard that rumor before, and that's the. Let me just find it. It's the Burnley goalkeeper.
Oh, Trafford.
James Trafford. And he has had an incredible season this season. I think he has 11 consecutive clean sheets now for Burnley and 9 goals conceded, 17 clean sheets this season, 22 years of age.
Well, he won't be coming
He's
to
doing
Manchester
bits
United.
in the Championship.
Well, he won't be coming to Manchester United. I promise you that. This shit show. We might be going to him, Jarvis.
Yeah.
We might be going to him.
I
he's
think
a City player, isn't he? I think they've got clause on him to bring him back, if I'm not mistaken. City. He's a City.
He's a City keeper, but I heard he was Liverpool bound.
Was he?
Okay.
No, that's the rumor I hear. He's Liverpool bound because they've run out of patience with Alisson. Although to be fair, Edison's not going to last much longer, is he? So I think he'll be gone in the summer.
Yeah, but that's why the rumor what some of the
Yeah.
blue looks are telling me that they're bringing this kid back.
I wouldn't surprise
They're
me.
getting rid of him,
Very good.
because Liverpool are signing that Georgian goalkeeper from the Euros.
Yeah,
Yes.
that Nashville,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. Well, any Jordan's got Billy, but I don't rate him. I've seen him a couple of times. I don't rate him. So.
I always say never buy a player of a form of a tournament.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We've done that before, haven't we?
But question to you guys:
Yes.
knowing that the system is now working with the current players, what do we need? I'm looking at one tweet. Somebody called Cunha, Quenda, Edison, Osimhen, Gyökeres, 4 players. We're never going to get that.
Oh, look, I was asked the other week what we needed, and I went to Acuna, Kirkes, and John Duran, but obviously he fucked off too.
You took the money.
But
You know what, mate? We need a fucking miracle, mate. I believe in miracles.
But man, the funny thing is, years and years and years ago, when we were in this trouble, and Jarvis loves him, we would have gone for Jared Bowen like that. Right, get me Jared Bowen.
He's robust. He's fucking robust.
You know what we're missing?
Yes.
Direct, robust, picks up the ball, puts his head down, goal.
Yeah.
What we don't have is a set pieces specialist. We don't have it. Somebody can take corners, set pieces. That's a weak foot. Bruno takes it all.
Ericsson is the only one, but
he's going. Yeah, he's going.
We're shit, guys. We're absolutely
we're the greatest hit.
How can I be positive? Let's be positive, eh?
Yes,
we're positively shit.
Yes,
we're living on a prayer, mate. We're living on a prayer. The club.
Oh, Bon Jovi.
What's happening to the club?
I am like the Pink Floyd song, "Comfortably Numb."
Yes. Yes.
Comfortably numb.
Is there anybody out there?
Out there? Hello. Anybody?
On good news, we bring some positivity. Christian Eriksen will soon start exploring options for his next chapter, as he's set to leave Man United at the end of the season, and his contract won't be extended. He will be a free agent in the summer. So at least we will be shifting one of these overpaid old players, injury prone and not good enough players.
Could have done with him yesterday. Fucking hell, I could have done with him with all that space we had at times yesterday.
What was he? Ill?
Was he?
He
was ill, yes.
Virus. Euro, him. Who else? Couple other players.
Get on with it.
Luke Shaw, Mason Mount.
You know what? Back in the day, it was Sudafane. Couple of Sudafane style. Get out there. I remember. I took a couple of Sudafanes for the cup semi-final. I was man of the match.
Yeah,
I was the night before. I couldn't lift my head. And I remember my coach Eric ringing me, going, "You absolute pansy! Take that suit. I got some Sudafane for you.
Get on with it.
Get on with it, you. Get on."
Honestly.
And I'm like, "But I can't even talk my head." He's like, "Take these."
You'll be fine. I heard something today on Talkshide that Inter Miami want to get their game cancelled against, I don't know where it is, Portland Timbers or whatever, because it's going to be -15 and Messi doesn't want to play in it, so they're trying to get the game cancelled. What's the fucking world coming to? I mean, seriously, what is the world coming to? Adidas can make heated fucking vest for them. What is the world coming to that you can't play a game because it's too cold? Jarvis would be walking around in his smudgy buddlers. Budgie smudlers at -15 because it's fucking warm for you, isn't it? Minus 15.
Yeah, I'm wearing a t-shirt. It's -10 outside.
It's not cold for Jarvis.
Yes.
But
nice.
Lionel Messi, fucking hell, I can't play that. It's way too cold. Fuck off. This is the problem with modern day football. Fed up with it.
There you go. Who's not having it? Who's not
having
having it?
I'm going to share something with you.
Not having it.
Yeah. And this
Any
one
songs
came up
for the
today.
sinking ship? Any songs, Jarvis? Sorry to interrupt the show. Any songs?
Sinking ship.
For the sinking ship.
What's
Anything?
the
Down.
No, that's not a sinking ship. Down.
Down.
Johnny Cash.
What's the Titanic song?
Ring of Fire.
That's really a sinking ship.
Jarvis has got that. Jarvis has got proper country.
He has, hasn't he?
I just want to show you guys this one.
Oh, fucking.
Did you see this John Obi Mikel, the
I've
ex-Chelsea midfielder, Nigerian, I believe he came from, but he also came from Norway. He played for a Oslo team called Lyn at this
almost
younger
played
days.
for us. Almost.
He was spotted in the United shirt.
No, he signed a deal.
He
You know
signed a
what
deal,
happened? The
yeah.
story. He tells the story. He signed a deal. Everything was done, and then he ripped up the contract, and Fergie was absolutely fuming. And then he pretended that Chelsea or his cousin and that held him hostage.
Yes, that's right. No, that's
And
true.
then to get him out of contract, and then he went to Chelsea. Ibrahimovic, and I'm glad. That's why I loved it more than any night. That night in fucking in Moscow, shoved it down his fucking throat. Fuck off.
Yes.
He's got a podcast, though. It's interesting. They got a podcast.
So this is the podcast, and he said that Jadon Sancho came in and delivered us Chelsea with a couple of games, and we thought, fucking hell, we are getting Sancho from Dortmund, but he's gone again. I don't know what happened to him, and he has disappeared off the grid. So Jadon Sancho, but you're Nordin, you're a little bit critical of us selling Sancho to a Premier League
to Chelsea,
rival.
to a rival, yeah.
Yes,
because he's still young enough to come good if they put a developmental plan and they get the best out of him. He's still good.
He's too lazy, though, isn't he? He's too lazy.
He's still a good player. But for me, the idea that we gave them fucking Sancho, Jarvis, and they gave us Mason Mount, that hurts me.
Yeah, I know.
Mason Mount, 55 million and give him the number 7 shirt. That fucking hurts me.
But they have to buy him. They have an obligation if they finish.
They've got to buy him this season, yeah. At the end
and Amorim came in and said, I looked at his eyes, Mason Mount. He wants it. I'm like, look at his fucking body. Don't look at his fucking eyes. Look at his body. Is his body ready? Does his body want it?
When did he? I can't remember last time. When did he go? When did he go injured again? No, it was about 6 weeks ago.
Yeah, more than that. Yeah.
Freedom.
Yes, it was a derby. Derby. It was a City game.
No, that's it. Yeah, that's right.
Apparently,
thigh strain. Apparently, a thigh thing goes out. Muscular.
Thigh strain. Oh, really?
Is that? Some people saying it's out for the season. Somebody told me through the grapevine. Somebody who works in the medical department, sports department, told me that he's got a hip problem, and he's always going to get the injury prone. Yeah, because he got overplayed when he was young. You know, players who were overplayed,
they
too much football when they're young.
Yeah.
Like, for example, look at someone like Rooney. Rooney, at the age of 28, 29, peak was done. By the time he reached 30, he was playing like a player that was 35 or 36.
He did.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
You know, Fabregas, again, same. As soon as he went over 30, boom. Because
he dropped like a stone, didn't he?
Yeah.
He dropped like a stone.
Modern football, the pace of it, the grind of it, the amount of games, Stu, you don't have that with old school football. There was not the amount of games. There was wait time. There was sometimes nearly a week and a half before you played the next game. And now you're playing every 3 days.
Yeah.
If they're saying Real Madrid get to a final,
they'll play 70 games. Well, they play 70
games.
72, 70. I think, something like that. They're gonna turn over City Wednesday, which is great. We're all happy about that. And it'll be something like 72 games, and they've got to play that stupid World Club Cup, haven't they, as well in the summer?
Yeah.
Wow.
Too many games for my taste.
Apparently the financial report has been released for the first quarter.
Oh God.
Man United. I shared. Terry Flewis just tweeted this out. I shared the link with you.
Okay.
Shared it on your WhatsApp.
Yes.
If you want to go over that, if you're interested.
So what's here? Let's bring this up and have a look.
It's a bit early, isn't it, for the first kick? Put your financial report out there.
Financial report for the first quarter of fiscal year 2025, covering July. Revenue, total revenue, 143 million. 9% decrease. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So commercial revenue down 5.6. Revenue is also down.
So we are declining. We are losing money.
But we've been declining for the past 7 to 6 years, Jarvis.
If you look at the profitability, the net profit 1.34. Sorry, no, I didn't.
No, go ahead.
No, if you look at
we've made profit then. That's interesting.
Yeah,
the
but
same
match
with
day
that
revenue is down 3.3%.
And why is that 3 million? Because they put the £66 and people thought, fuck off, I'm not paying 3. That's why it cost the club 3 million. Because those tickets are not being sold, except when they sold them to the Rangers fans.
Local currency, yeah, that's about right.
But we made a net profit of 1.4 million only.
Okay, that's encouraging, that is.
But that is also due to turnaround largely due to the cost cutting measures.
Yeah, it's currency as well, isn't it? Currency exchange.
So 1.4 million. Peanuts.
Yes, we're doing better, but we are losing. We're not. The revenue is down.
Yeah,
because
but
why is that? Why is that?
TV revenue is always
cutting cost.
Why?
Largely due to cost-cutting measures.
Yeah, because.
Yeah, but don't forget, our TV revenue is going to be down anyway. Because if you've noticed a trend over the last 2 years, there are weaker games being shown live on television than Manchester
Because they're
United.
more competitive than Manchester United.
That's right. Yeah, so there's weaker games. So that revenue, that Champions League revenue, is costing us. You can 5% dip on commercial. That's all right. You could take that. You could easily get 5% back, easy, and double.
Big up Trevor Wade. I'm smiling because I've accepted defeat a long time ago, and yesterday I was angry because I was reacting to what I just saw. So the rage is inside you still. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think our show last night was we were frustrated for about an hour, and then we decided, fuck it. We started having a laugh, didn't we? For half an hour. Well, it was so, and then you just think, you know what? Fuck it. Although to be fair, I got called Grandad Saturday afternoon. So we were playing a mixed team in terms of age, varied age group, and I ended up marking a 22-year-old, and he was a bit quicker than me, little bastard. And so I took him out as you would normally do.
Just a reducer, little bit of reducer. Just
three of them. Three of them. And he finally snapped on the third one. He called me Grandad.
Fair play to the lad. Fair play. He's got character.
Yeah, he's got character.
He's got character.
Shithousery.
His beard nearly dropped off. When he was sliding down on the turf. His beard. I got booked for the third one because it was a proper 1970s reducer. Yeah. It was a proper one. Yeah.
Oh, Norman was it? Well, they came. What's the guy?
He wasn't. He was too fucking quick for me though. He was just too quick.
Yeah.
It was all good fun though.
Young guys. People, Stephanie tells me we are on 52 likes. If you haven't liked the stream, smash the like now. And if you haven't subscribe to the channel. And people, we need your engagement. So get your comments in. And after the show ends, we will go on for I don't know, maybe maximum in half an hour. We will do a Q&A session, but I will cover one thing before we go, and we have this one. And this came out today. Rashmano sent me this. It's from Times Sport, and it says that Liverpool has frozen match ticket prices for the next season amid general fan discontent against rising costs throughout the Premier League. So Liverpool are actually going the opposite way than Man United. They're actually winning, increasing the match ticket.
Yeah, they're winning. Yeah, but they can afford.
I saw this because you know what, their fan base are quite strong and very together. Jarvis, they will walk out. They would all empty out, and FSG just not won that. They don't want that. FSG does not want that. So when they're going for a league title, they don't want anything that's going to cause any disruptions in the stadium. So that's what they've done. So I don't, because Liverpool fans are more united. I have to explain for people in terms of class. There are a lot of super middle class people who became Manchester United fans once we became a larger stadium. And Stu would tell you when you go to the stadium. When you go to that stadium, a lot of them are not. They're bootlickers. They're just like whatever. That's what I call them. I call them bootlickers. They respect authority. They're like, they'll sort it out. When I've had talks with them, I've been outside before handing out Glazers out banners, and they look at me, and they're like that, shushing my hand away. Like I'm giving it to them. They're like, So our fan base, if you touch the working class people, I reckon maybe 25,000.
Yeah.
33,000 maybe, working class. Yeah. So
Jakey loves it in the TRA and Nuruddin. He absolutely. I like it in my seat in the Sir Alex Ferguson stand because it's actually it's not quiet because it's full of tourists. We're all season ticket holders where I sit.
The casual.
Yeah. So what Jakey does, he changes my ticket. So he goes in the TRA and he fucking loves it in there. He's 23, 24, he loves it in there. He's chanting, he's standing.
Proper football, yeah.
He smuggles beer.
The way that we experienced it, yeah.
Exactly. He smuggles beer in. Because you're not supposed to do it.
Like you do, yeah.
Like we should be. He phoned me up one day, said, Dad, I've been caught. I said, what? They've chucked me out because they caught me drinking beer. So you'll learn. Find a better place to hide it, son. That's what he said to me.
Shove it down the pants, mate. Get a baggy pants.
Yeah.
A friend of mine used to wear baggy
shorts,
baggy trousers, and then he would have a shorts, and it was one of those like swimming shorts. So inside, he shoved the beers down there, and whatever else, if you know.
No, but that's how it should be, isn't it? You've got to go back to enjoying football. You can't just have all this, just
sitting down. Yeah, I hate it. I honestly like.
Yeah, but then again, me and you, and we've gone out there and scalped tickets. To away ends in Sheffield Wednesday, fucking Anfield, Everton. We've been there, travelled
West Ham, the old West Ham ground.
Oh, God.
Literally a bottle that day. I had angels looking after. A couple of bottles went past my head like that, my face. One of them went past. It was a Budweiser bottle, went past my head like that. Well, honestly, I was like that. I was watching it make like that. Like, it's like a slow motion, like a film.
Oh. I'm surprised. How did you see it was a Budweiser? Like
Westain. Yeah. Honestly, because I'm very visual. I was like, that's like a Budweiser bottle. That another one like that. You know that corner? Do you know that corner? The away fans will come round. They're all stood on that side.
Yeah.
Coming out of the old West Ham Stadium. Yeah. Fucking hell.
I got me and a bunch of lads got chased outside Spurs once. Luckily for us, the Mountie cops come straight across because they realised what was happening, and luckily we survived it. It could have been quite nasty if we hadn't. But those are the days.
Leeds. Me and my cousin Leeds. I know they won tonight, the bastards. Leeds.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Leeds. My uncle, my cousin, we ran so much, and actually they were a bunch of fascist skinheads. And my little cousin's legs were coming off the ground. And luckily, he was a Leeds fan as well. He was a black cap. He pulled in and saw us and then rushed us to the station. This is when we beat them. Yeah. This one we beat them, 2-1. 94, I think 95 it was, away, Leeds. I've never been back. I've never gone to a Leeds game ever again.
I've only been to Leeds once as well. Yeah, dangerous.
Yeah. Guys, I have two segments. It's the Q&A, but first I want to have a small debate with you, and I have made a debate jingle. So I just want to have an excuse to play the debate jingle. So let's roll it. And this is the big debate, and the debate is actually pretty easy tonight. I just saw this tweet coming on from my good friend Roshmano's channel, Transfers MUFC, and if you don't subscribe to his channel, you should. It's always updated with good transfer stuff. So Man United reached an agreement with Napoli in January to sign Victor Osimhen, but the player said, "I promise to stay at Galatasaray until the summer, after I finish the season." So
the case from the Turkish journalists.
Yes. So the thing is, we have heard a lot of rumors with Osimhen or Gyökeres. So my question to you guys, the panel, and the guys and girls in the chat, get your answers in. Who would you like us to sign, Osimhen or Gyökeres? Who want to go first? Mick. I know.
Oh man! Come on. I think that Osimhen is the better overall striker. that you will get. But on the double-edged sword, you look at Gyökeres, played under Amorim, played in the Championship, played in the Premier League, bagged 45 goals last season. It is like, if I take both, I take anyone, because currently we're not scoring. Rasmus is not scoring. If I had to choose, Osimhen.
Osimhen.
He's better in the air as well.
Hello, Swede.
Yeah, no, look, he's
Shocking.
more all-round. He's good hang in the air. He's good in the head. Gyökeres, you need to play in the channel. Gyökeres is more that will chase the ball, like he will run. But is he a good header? Okay, Osimhen.
Osimhen. Okay, 1 vote for Osimhen. Stu?
Chris Wood.
Yeah, no, that's not the debate.
No, but I thought I'd get the devilish tacticos on one, so I go Chris Wood. I'll be honest with you, I don't like either. If I'm being brutally honest with you, I don't like either. I think we can do better than both of those players. But I would go on or lean on the side of Gyökeres by virtue of, I think actually, Mick, everything you said was correct. But I would lean on Gyökeres by virtue of his playing with Amorim for 18 months.
Yeah.
Everything else that he'd done. And he would play the Amorim system better than our current incumbent, Mr. Højlund. So you would think he would probably get a minimum of 20 goals a season. But I think there'd be better strikers out there that would fit into our system better. And I'm going to go back to your old mate, Jarrod Bowen.
But he was not an option.
Right now, Jarrod Bowen is the type of forward we need. Because he'll play on the shoulder, he'll drift out wide, but when he gets in that fucking box, he hits the target. It doesn't matter if he scores, he hits the target. I never did tell you, when you get into the box, you get a strike, hit the fucking target. That's all you've got to do. Because anything can happen. He will do.
Look.
But Gyökeres for me, for this debate, Gyökeres.
Okay.
I agree with Mick.
Okay.
So it's 1-1. The decisive vote is Norredin.
Well, actually, Nick and Stu and Jarvis, I don't want neither of them. I would go for Dalot, but if I had to pick one, obviously, I have to stay true to the debate. They're both of them. I've got massive question marks over both of them. But yeah, I think the fact that he worked with the manager.
That's the only thing that sways it for me.
Yeah. But in order to get a Gyökeres, you need to fix other areas on the pitch.
So the biggest thing, honestly, I know this is a debate, Jarvis, but I genuinely don't think we need a striker right this time. We need a forward, like what Stu's talking about. We need a forward player and somebody like Bo who can play out wide, who can come back, who can pick the ball up, who can, turn on defenders on the, in the last third and run at people and actually take people for a little journey, who can run on the shoulder. Okay, I actually don't rate him. I think he's a gimmick. I think he will get found out. But the mere fact that he actually worked with the coach, and I think if we were to get Osimhen, we would have to be amazing getting the ball in the box.
We'd have to change the way we play. Yeah,
that's why I say we have to first fix the other areas before we get.
But 100%. I think we need a wing-back before we need a striker. I think we need number 8. We need all these other type of players to play. But if I was going to choose, I would say Gyökeres because the managers work and this system. He's played this system before, and that's the only factor. So I would say him. Because he's worked in this.
I always been in favor for Gyökeres, but then I was thinking in the all-round area. Yeah.
Listen, Jarvis, I need to go. I need to get up really early tomorrow.
Yes, I know. We have 15 minutes left to do the Q&A, but if you have to go, that's okay. That's fine.
I have 15 minutes.
Yeah. I just want to say my vote when it comes to this. We have 2 votes for Gyökeres, 1 for Osimhen. Personally, I would go for Osimhen just because I like his work rate. I saw him in the AFCON when he played for Nigeria, I think he's not a luxury player who works really hard. And when he played for Nigeria, he wasn't the star player. He was running all the time, running his socks off, and that's what I would like from a Man United striker. We don't have room for a luxury player who needs to be accommodated. So for me, I think it's Osimhen. So from the panel, it's 2-2, and the decisive vote is on the devilish tacticals, and the vote says we have who will you sign? It's 71% for Osimhen and 29% for Gyökeres. So it will be Osimhen from the tactical devils.
What about Jared Bowen?
Before you go, Nuruddin, as well, like let's just bring this to this stage. This year's attacking line is probably the worst I've ever seen in Man United's history. Like, so I'd take any one of them, to be honest, right?
Yeah.
We've always been blessed to have like a good partnership, but this, so I'll take anyone.
Well, I'll take Greenwood, Rashford, and Martial right now.
Oh, there was a story that the PSG was Greenwood, and if we sell Greenwood,
he will go
get
to
50% sell on.
He will be at PSG in the summer.
And Man United will get 50%.
He won't be at Marseille in the summer. He will be at. I think he'll be at PSG.
By the way, he needs a third. 16 points behind PSG, or 15 points behind PSG.
Yeah, PSG are walking again, aren't they? Well, here it is. We still haven't got a jingle, have we, Jarvis? We haven't got the
jingle is coming. Give me 2
we
seconds,
got a
and the jingle will be here.
Well, I tell you what, don't do the jingle till we get 300 people watching. Although, but Nuruddin's got to go. We want to answer some questions, so let's do the jingle.
Let's roll the jingle.
Roll. Oh, that's how you do it.
I like the way you caught Stu with his round glasses. So I tell
you what. Let's do something different. Leave those glasses on, Michael. Leave those glasses on. And tonight you can be quizmaster because we've only got a few.
Oh man, I can't see shit.
Quizmaster with your glasses. Come on.
I can't see anything. This is like in a ski slope.
They are mint, those glasses.
They're Louis Vuittons.
You need to bring up the chat so we can.
Oh yes, so I will be quizmaster. Yes, I've been told off by the gaffer, by the joint gaffer. He's told me off. He put his glasses on to do it as well. It was like
I need to be like the principal. Listen to me.
Like I was in school again. Gentlemen, ladies, devilish tacticos, welcome to the greatest Q&A session on YouTube, hosted by yours truly. And we've obviously got Jarvis, Nuruddin, and we've got Mick. We're a little bit tight for time because Nuruddin's got to go, and I want to make sure we can answer as many questions as possible.
Yes.
So we'll start with.
You can carry on, boys. You can carry on answering the questions.
We will start with Trev. Trev always comes in with a few questions, but you're coming with a question here. Do you think Amorim just bought the kids yesterday for injury cover only? And do you think it sends a message to the youth about a pathway to the first team being a negative under him? Nuruddin, we'll start with you, then Mick, and then Jarvis.
I think he bottled it. For me, what's the point putting them on the bench? What the F if you putting them on the bench if you can't bring them on and link the top and then they win, lose or draw? We would have been talking about the younger players and we would have been analysing them. We would have been talking about them, and I think Manchester United's been built on youth. So to me, he bottled it. Because I saw Van Gaal do it. I see Ange do it at Spurs. They had 10 injuries and he played all the kids. Liverpool against Chelsea last season, injuries, he played all the kids. Like, you cannot be scared. You cannot be scared to play the young children. And for me, this is what this club is been. And the real fans of this football club know that. And I will never understand, other than petulant little dick muppets, on Twitter, majority of the fan base would be understanding and give the kids an opportunity. And also, kids will always surprise you. Young people will always surprise you, getting the opportunity. So for me, yesterday was a negative for me. And it was just hard to defend. It was hard to defend the personnel that is on the team. And so when you watch that first half, I'm like, how the F are these people not playing? You know, how they're not playing. You know, how are the youngsters not? You know, like Morehouse yesterday coming on would have done amazing.
I was looking forward to
Obi Martin. Obi Martin would have come on, and instead of Hoyland, would have made a run through the middle and could have been found to take his opportunity. Who the hell was Marcus Rashford before he come on against Arsenal and before he came in the Europa League? He took his chance.
He did be more controversial a little bit, thinking outside the box a little bit further, bring it up to the top a notch.
Yes.
You know, he went with experienced players. We're looking at how would it look like to start the kids over a £70 million Casemiro. Might be the pressure from above, like, you know, don't burn them out. You know, bring them for an excursion. You know what I mean? They were not really active on the bench to warm up. They were just sitting there as a props. So it might be also like an orders from above to say, well, you got a £70 million player Casemiro, play him, play experience. I don't know, but yeah, at least 15 minutes. We should give him some minutes.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. Jarvis?
I'll be quick. When it comes to this, I read an interesting theory that actually Rosmano sent me. And it was something like this. He said, starting to wonder whether Rúben deliberately forced the first team regulars to start on the pitch and take their medicine. It was to prove their point and not being given the support they needed to compete in the transfer market. So actually, this was a message from Rúben not playing the youth because he just wanted to show it to the man, to Ineos and Glazers. So maybe this is a take, but definitely to answer the question, I think he should have played the youth. That's my take.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. Trev, hope that answers your question. Just a very quick one for Nuruddin.
Just to say, he did say after the game, that we're not going to risk getting any more injuries, so they're going to play in the Europa League and in the FA Cup.
Brilliant. Just a very quick question from Trevor for you with regards
he said that after the game. Amorim said that.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Skull did a cat. Was he named because he's ginger or really a strawberry blonde? That's what Trevor.
No, it's because he's ginger. He's ginger. He's Skulls. I saw him when he was a kitten and he was like Skull. I had another cat, unfortunately got run over, and it was a black cat. The two brothers, and the other one was Seedorf, two of my favourite midfield players, Seedorf and Skolzy.
Very cool. Mick, is Garnacho just taken over from Rashford's attributes? That's from Nathan Lee Lewis.
Is Garnacho just taken over from Rashford?
Yes.
I'm not going to lie, Rashford had a better quality. Just saying, the same age.
Listen, first and foremost, Garnacho's far more younger, just starting off his career. So yeah, he's still learning, and he's still a long way to improve in his, decision making. Right. So taking over Rashford attributes. Do you mean his attitude? I'm not really understand the question.
It means about the way he plays.
He's talking about playing. Yeah, the way he plays.
No, I think that, he's starting to grasp, at least he's starting to, be more of a team player, doing cutback passes and everything else. But, you can't blame the kids to try to sort of score a goal yesterday because nobody was trying. So I wouldn't say so. No. He's still being molded. Okay.
Thank you, Mick. Nathan, I hope that answers your question. Got a question for Jarvis here from Danny B. Danny B wants to know, Jarvis, have you ever watched Wale Egil or that one as well?
Wale Egil. No. To be honest, sorry, Danny B. I haven't. Is he Danish or Norwegian? I don't think he's Norwegian, so he has to be Danish. Nordsjælland, that's in Denmark. So, but I will check him out. Maybe we can do a little report on him next time we're on.
Super, brilliant. Nuruddin, this is one for you from Rushmano. Would you contribute towards a fan fund to buy out the Glazers? Oh, I think you're on mute, Nuruddin.
Yeah, I said that before. I said it 3-4 years ago. I said that we've got about 1 billion fans around the world. If everybody put, 25 quid in the set, we would have enough money to buy them out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there was something with mustard I didn't like at all.
Oh,
Yes.
no. I called them out tonight. Sorry to see.
I responded on your tweet.
They're absolute cowards. Did you see their mealy mouth little thing about the tickets? Not about the state of the football club. Are you taking the fucking piss?
Oh, not an extra 25. No, as long as it doesn't concern me.
Yes. No, that's true. Another question here, lads. I want to go around the panel on this one, but 30 seconds each, no more, please. Is there anything this manager can do to make you Amorim out? Because I feel like there's no stands at all at the moment. We're losing. I'll
answer that. He can come out and start protecting the fucking Ineos and the Glazers. Start chatting rubbish, saying he's to blame. He only got here fucking yesterday. No. The people to blame are the people who've ran this club into the ground for the past 20 years. He's not to blame. He's not to blame. So for me, if he comes out and starts getting in the way of fans' discontent because he's got a little bit of kudos with the fans, especially in the stadium, if he starts coming out and protecting the Glazers and Ineos, because to me they're both of the same people. Ineos are just doing what the Glazers didn't have the bottle to do. They're just working with the Glazers. I will be Amorim out, and I will be every manager out, and I don't care how fucking good you are. If you come and stand with the owners, not understanding that our fight is not with you, so don't pick a fight with us by getting involved. Stay out of it. You just look after the coaching, tactics, match day, getting the performance out of the plate, stay out of it.
Yeah. Okay. Jarvis, just very quickly.
Is anything he can do?
Yes. To make you.
I think if he starts waffling and starts going away from his principles, then I know he will lose with this club. He has to stay strong. Okay. So as long as he stays strong to his beliefs and tactics, I will support the manager. But if he starts to wander off, I will start to be super critical.
Okay, Mick, just briefly.
Briefly, I would just say don't speak more to the media. At least. Ratcliffe was so happy to speak out about the plan, but now you're seeing him being the mouthpiece all of a sudden, speaking, there's no value on the market, we got to be careful, this and that. And that seemed like, okay, they've been told, you should do what they do in US. Like, you don't see the president speak, you have a press conference, somebody speaking out on the behalf, not utilizing Amorim. So let Amorim just do his work as a head coach, do the presser, pre-game, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Cheers,
Mick. That is ideal. We've got a couple of questions here, but we've already answered them. So quickly, I'm just going to briefly bring Daniel's question up. Would you take relegation to get rid of the Glazers? We're all in agreement.
Said it a long time ago.
Yeah, we're all in agreement. Nuruddin raised
I'm the chairman, the CEO of that campaign from a long time ago.
Yeah. We've also kind of briefly gone through this. The panel said it was a flat no. There's no way we could see in a second.
No.
Because
he's their guy. He's their guy, isn't it? So
he's their guy.
If they sack the second guy after sacked Anschworth, then everything I said about them is the truth. They're incompetent.
Yes, absolutely. We've also covered this one, Steph. Question to the panel: do you think an actually shooting issue as he tries to hit the ball too hard, whereas Ahmed caresses it? A bit earlier on in the show, we all kind of think that he kind of rushes his shooting, probably hasn't practiced it enough, doesn't kind of, really an attacker has two sides. He will go
still raw.
So Steve has a question for Mick. Would the glasses help players see the ball better?
Edgar Davids, he worked for him.
Yes, Edgar Davids.
He worked for Edgar Davids.
It's a bit of a tongue-in-cheek question, but I like a question like that. It's just a bit of fun. Those glasses.
I think, for the majority Manchester United players, I tell you, they all need to go to Specsavers,
They don't even know what a football looks like, to be honest.
No. This is one for
the only ball they know how it looks like is egg-shaped and it's playing over in US. That's all they care about.
Absolutely. Jarvis, question from Steph again. Good question.
Yep.
Do you think Bruno? Do you think the captain should also be after match presser, especially when we lose?
Yes. Obviously, you don't throw in the young guys, or the captain should always step up, or the experienced players, the older players. Yeah, they will always have to stay in the limelight to take the heat.
Yeah, I will always respect David De Gea, even though he wasn't a captain. He used to front up all of the time.
Yeah. Okay, lovely. Steph, hope that answers your question. Nuruddin, one for Sir Alex Ferguson. During Sir Alex Ferguson's era, which United match loss lives rent-free in your heads? Oh,
match loss? Oh, my God. How many?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. How many? Porto at Old Trafford, that onside goalpost goals.
Yes.
Cantona against Dortmund. All he had to do, the guy was on the floor, tap it into that corner.
Was that the Lars Ricken game? Was that the Lars Ricken game?
Yes.
Lars Ricken scored, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, that goal. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer against Bayer Leverkusen. Yeah. All he had to do was keep it down, get his head on it. All the things that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was good at. Get his head down, get head over the ball, knee. Put that in the top, that would have been boom. See you later. We would have played Real Madrid in Scotland.
Yes, we would have. We would have that year, yeah. Come on, Meg.
Can I change it?
Yeah, you can go for it.
Can we say Ten Hag?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Go on, man. Yeah,
Take it low.
Yeah, against West Ham.
Yeah, against West Ham. West Ham. If we can change it then, Ron Atkinson, when we got battered 6-0 by Ipswich.
For me, if it's under Ten Hag, I'm sorry. It's the FA Cup final. City did a treble.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Jonas, for you?
Yeah. I don't know. The Real Madrid game, the Champions League. I think it was the semi-final when Nani got that red card.
Oh, yeah.
I think the red card. I think it was harsh.
Was
it quarters?
Yeah, but we had a good team that year. We could have won it.
Yeah, we battered them. We battered them even with 10
minutes.
Yeah.
No,
so I think that was the game for me.
United, Jacopo. I don't think we've seen you in here before, so welcome. Thank you for that. I hope that's answered your question. Carlos is in. We'll do that. We'll do that at the end. We just got one more question. Then we'll do that at the end, and then that will be the end of Q&A.
Yep.
Steve, question. What happens to contracted players if we get relegated? Hypothetical, I know. I can touch on that one, but I know Mick and Nuruddin will probably have their views as well. If and Manchester United, I can tell you this now, will not have a relegation clause in their contract at all. Now, there are some clubs, Wolves, Leicester, etc., have a relegation clause that states if you are relegated into the Championship, you have to take an immediate 25%, 50% pay cut. Whatever that is, it is a percentage pay cut. And they will sign that contract. That won't happen with Manchester United. The clauses in our contracts are if you don't make Champions League, you take a 25% pay cut or whatever. But there will not be a relegation clause in our contract.
No.
I wonder what it was in Erling Haaland's contract to sign 9 years.
Well, that would be interesting. But certainly with Manchester United, no, but with other clubs, absolutely there is a clause. And the final question of today, and I think this is quite fun. It's always great to end up on a fun question. We'll start with Jarvis. 250 million smackers in your back pocket, burning a hole in a Jarvis arse pocket. What's he doing with it? Come on, Jarvis.
Well, I'll be controversial. I would boot Luke Shaw out of the club right away.
Yeah.
I will pay him off. I would do the same with Casemiro. I will get rid of all the dross right away to open up the pathway for all the academy players.
Would you get rid of Mount?
Mason Mount, yes, sure. Bring all the injury-prone players, all the bench players, all the players who doesn't perform, who's not good enough. I will just get rid. And maybe I will spend 60, 70 million on Bowen, if possible. So that will be what's left after I'm clear the squad.
That's a great answer, that is. That's probably probably the answer I wasn't expecting, and that's probably the best answer I've heard.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you why. Because everyone will go, and I'm not saying the guys here, but everyone else would go, I'll get X, Y, and Z.
No, 2 years left on Luke Shaw's contract. How much is that worth?
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I'm not looking at those players as playing for Manchester United because they're has-beens. So I would actually go and sign players that we need right now who can fit in this system. I'm looking at a number 10. I'm looking at two number 8s to play to back to the Garte. I'm looking at a right wing back, a really good right wing back, and number 10. So yeah, I'm bringing for 250 million. I'm going to bring you about 6 players that can play fit in the system, and the rest of them will take care of itself.
Goalkeeper.
Oh, goalkeeper, 100%. I would get a goalkeeper. Who would I get a goalkeeper? City goal. This young goalkeeper from Burnley. No, I would have to scout a proper goalkeeper. And the goalkeeper that I actually like, he will cost about 50 million, I think.
John Oblak.
No.
Okay.
It's a young player who's got a lot of potential. Some United fans don't like him. Some people think he's crap, but I really like him. Costa, yeah.
I like
He's
Sells.
really good on penalties. He's really good on penalties. Sells, who play for where?
Forest. I like him.
Oh yeah, he makes really big saves. Actually, he's got a character. He looks like a character in a movie, in a cowboy movie or something.
He's been remarkable this season.
Where's he from?
I don't know enough about him. I've just watched him 7 or 8 times because you can't help but watch Forest at the minute, can you? Because they're always on Super Sunday or fucking Saturday.
They play our system.
Yeah, I know, and he just looks great. So,
I would just look at improve. I would improve, definitely ship off Onana, improve and train Bayandir to be better on this distribution. He's got what it takes. Bring back Radek Vitek to the club, another youngster that can play number 2. Even though I just bring back De Gea as a reserve goalkeeper, you know what I mean? But I agree with Jarvis. Rip up some contracts. It will cost the club 20 million to do. You need to clear trim you need to manscape first. You know what I mean? Yeah. But then I wouldn't go. Yeah, I wouldn't go and buy the clear and obvious. I would look at trust the ability of Vivell because he's got an eye for talent. You go in the South American market as well. There's gems of players. For that price, you can get a new squad, 5-6 players in. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's interesting.
Sorry, the only thing I was thinking before you go, Stu, is that I would do if the club was stable. I would do what Jarvis said. But the club's not stable, so my first one thing is to get players in, and these bastards will leave on their own accord. But definitely Bowen as one of the number 10s.
I would go. I would shop at home. That's the only thing I would do differently to what you guys are discussing. I would shop at home, and I would go for Premiership proven that play in the system. And I would look at the likes of Forest. I would look at the likes of Bournemouth. I would look at the likes of Crystal Palace. People might laugh at this, but these are teams that have beaten us.
That's where Fergie used to go shopping in
exactly. And that's what I would do.
From Oldham.
Yeah, I would have my old mate Jarvis's Bowen up there. I'd have my old mate up there because but I'd have Cunha in behind him any day of the week.
Cunha is definitely he can do a nice job. The intensity, the drive.
Big up Danny B. Dibbeling. That's one of the right wing back. Dibbeling.
Yeah, any day of the week, and I would probably go for 8 Nori. If you're going to get Cunha, I'd try and get 8 Nori out of Wolves as well. I've got no problem with Dalot. I would get him in as well as a backup type striker for.
I really like him.
Bowen. Really like that kid. And I would try and get Morgan Gibbs-White because he would offer us a shitload of intensity alongside Cunha. People won't like these players, and I get it because they're not sexy enough. But you've got to start somewhere again, and that's what I would do. Now, if I've got any money left over,
I wanted Morgan Gibbs-White when he was in Wolverhampton as a kid.
Oh, he's been phenomenal.
Yeah. Yes,
I remember him. Good. I watched a game with him. It was England under 18 to 19. They were in some tournament, and I watched it on Eurosport, and he was phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
but I agree with what you're saying. That you need to get system players to fit the system. It's like trying to balance the car. You need components in order for the car to be running in an optimized speed, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what it is. You have to have the cogwheel, you have to have the backline, everything. Like, you know, in the past, we've just been going, oh, we need a, you know, windshield wiper. We get one from Volkswagen, then we get a door from Mercedes and try to patch up this car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's time to get rid of that mentality and just get system players.
Nuruddin's got to go. One question has slipped through the net. So let's just answer this very, very briefly.
Yes,
Bruno seems to be the only one knowing Amorim's system. This is from Steve again. You often see him instructing the players. Would you still keep him in the summer? Jarvis will go with you, Mick, and Nuruddin.
Big fat no. I wouldn't keep him. No.
Mick?
Time to move on. I think he's not the only one that understands the system. There's one player that is missing today that grasps the whole Amorim system, and that's Dalot.
Yeah. And Nuruddin, you
so yeah, and I mean, of course, if you look at Captain Bruno, you still need some seniority, but you know what? He's turning 31.
Something like that. I'm on record in the summer saying I would have sold him. Technically, Saudi.
Yeah, big time. Big time.
Guys, that wraps up tonight's Q&A.
You already know my answer. You already know my answer.
So I'm going to hand back to my old mate Jarvis to close off the show. I'd just like to point out it's 300. I get my words out of it. 306.
308.
308. Now I don't know. Jarvis, you might be able to tell me, is that a bit of a record for us on the live show?
Yes, it's good. It's good. It's a good live show. We are like 50, 60 people watching on YouTube, and the rest are watching on Twitter. So yeah, that's fantastic numbers. Thank you everybody for tuning in.
Those of you who are on Twitter, help the channel. Get off Twitter and go on YouTube. It costs you nothing. You have to pay for YouTube. Get on YouTube. Help the channel. And just all subscribe on YouTube.
And one more point, one more important thing. Notification bell button, check it. Set it to all settings, please. Because I've experienced it, probably you also, Nuruddin. YouTube goes in and removes it to set to none without even you knowing. So it's very important. So you never miss when this channel goes live, or Nuruddin or myself.
Yes, please make sure you do that. Just a quick, I've had a few questions in the chat. Have I used the new trainers yet? Not just yet. I will get them. I had a new pair of running shoes, Mick and Nuruddin, for my birthday. And they're quite
I had a question last stream. You did. You never read out. I put a question.
I'm sorry.
Because I said, have you given up on United? Are you wearing a Bournemouth shirt?
No. I missed that one. That was Lego. That was a Lego top.
Oh, it looked like a Bournemouth shirt.
I had a Lego top, yeah. I might do a competition at some time to win one of my numerous Adidas shirts. I might do a competition and put one of those up for a prize. Who knows? But
I've got a question before you all go. If the worst were to happen and Ineos do sack Amorim, who would you want as next Manchester United coach?
Nobody.
Nobody.
My answer. Burn it down.
Areola,
because it doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't matter because he's not gonna succeed.
No, I'm telling you, I genuinely do think that they might do it. You know,
as much
you
as
don't know
Areola,
they sacked 6 managers in 6 seasons, just to let you know.
Yeah.
And they turned one of them into the director of football, if I'm not mistaken. They sacked him, brought him back, and turned him into director of football.
Yeah.
Oh, well, who can it be?
I will be on the verge of giving up following Man United if we sack another manager. You know, I'm sick of it.
Areola. I like Areola, Jarvis. I do. I just, what's the point for him? Would you come? Areola? Would you come? Gary
Neville. Oh God. He can stay there.
We all know Southgate. Southgate is
that's what the big rumors are, by the way, in and around Manchester.
Again, the media spin.
I don't.
I'll tell you now. I won't go to any games if Southgate's manager.
No, I wouldn't. Maddison, I wear a. I really shouldn't tell people this, but I'm getting anyway. But back in '96, or was it 06? Might have been 06. I know Nuruddin and Mick will definitely remember this. And Jarvis might. But back in 06, I think it was 06. Anyway, Budweiser were giving away free shreddies, free pants, and I've got a pair of those that I have worn ever since I had them free and they are like literally falling apart. But they're my go-to.
Okay,
football shorts.
can you back the tape to 86? You probably wear this bench, another this big neon pink dance socks drawn up to your knees, like he's a maniac.
Yeah,
Oh
yes,
no!
I've never owned a pink pair of socks, guys. Never owned a pink pair.
You know
of
though.
socks.
You know
I
these
don't know.
training videos
song.
they used to do.
I haven't
you know,
The
remember.
song, man, that song is legendary, man. That's legendary. It used
I
to get
haven't
played
lived.
around my college.
I haven't
over the
lived,
piano
to be
in the
honest. I
lunchtime.
haven't lived.
He's a maniac.
I did have one of those terrible shell seats, though.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Oh God.
But remember the shell seats? Jesus. Sorry, we digress.
People smash the likes, subscribe to the
Yes,
channel,
please.
and stop watching it on Twitter. Get on YouTube and support the channel.
Yes.
Yes, please.
But
please.
I must say, I appreciate the Devilish Tacticos. You are a fantastic community, fan base, whatever you want to call it. You stay here for 2 hours and 15 minutes, listening to us waffling about football and Man United. So it's incredible. I'm so grateful that you guys are here. I would like to thank Nordin for coming on.
Yeah.
You already did a stream today, so you probably streamed out. I understand you're tired. Mick, it has to be morning now. The sun is out, and Thailand.
You see,
time.
my eyes are going like, you know.
Yeah, I see you struggling.
6:22 in the morning. But I was looking forward all day for this show. I did a stream earlier this morning, but I really wanted to sit here and talk just football. Like, forget about all this shit that's going on.
Good to have you.
It's been a good show, and as always, my co-host Duvole coming in and supporting and helping out with the channel. And last but not least, the Devilish Tacticals, Stephanie, Nathan, Yala, Steve, Madhouse, Trevor, all of you. I can't scroll up long enough to read out all your names. Neil, guys, you're the best. It's been a great show.
Can we just point out? Sorry, Jarvis. Can we just point out? Thursday, Keith Hackett. We don't know what time yet. Me and Jarvis are just going to sort the time out, but he will be with us again. Any questions you'd like to know, get them in, drive them in, and yes.
In the non-live section on this show, I will read them out. And,
because he is he's absolutely brilliant. Anything you want to know, any kind of pattern of the show you want us to do, please let us know, and we will ask Keith. But he's graciously coming on again. So, and then we're trying our best, aren't we, Jarvis, to entice other guests as well. But it's not easy. But Keith had such a good time on the last show.
Yes,
he's coming back, so we're very, very grateful. But that's a Thursday night. Please watch out for that.
Yes, so thank you, United, Jacobo, Stephanie Griffith coming in and say, when's the next show? Is Thursday will be the next show then.
All right, guys, I'm going to jump off. Love, take care.
Big up.
Ta-da.
Thank you.
When's the next game, by the way? When's the next game?
Saturday.
12:30.
12:30 kickoff.
Yeah, Everton. So, it will be a great show on Thursday. Get your questions to Keith Hackett in the non-live section after the show, and we will ask them out to Keith. It will be a great show. So, guys, girls, Mick, Nordin,
thanks, Mick,
everybody.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks for watching 2 hours, 18 minutes of pure football. So, have a good night, everyone. And
guys.